What's going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
What? Say that again, DJ?
And I'm DJ.
What? I don't believe it. I'm Diggins.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woohoo!
Huh? What? Details?
Wow. You can't even believe it. Diggins, this is blowing your mind because it's so crazy and, yeah, random, I guess is probably a good word for it. But pretty good. And, you know, we got a pretty random movie this week because one that came out in November, like we said, full month and a half before Christmas. Cost $200 something million or something like that. And, yeah, it'll be fun to talk about. So we're going to talk about Red One.
Red One,
both
baby.
Excited for that? Red One.
Right, so this is the sequel to Red Notice, or the prequel, I guess, because it's Red One, right?
Yeah. Right. That's Red -1. This is Red One, takes place in an alternate universe after Red -1.
Okay.
Red -1 was pretty good too. I feel like it's maybe the best Notice movie in a while. You know? I liked it.
I just got to make sure I understand where we are in the Red Notice timeline before I can really talk about this movie.
Is Red Tails part of this?
Oh, Red Tails would be great for Red One because it's about, or Red -1 because it's about pilots.
Okay,
like,
but is Red
Godzilla
Tails part
-1.
of the Red One cinematic universe, or is it separate?
Is there any crossover?
What about Reds, starring Warren Beatty?
Well, probably not that one because they're probably all dead, right? Like I don't think there's anybody that could be in both. But I'm wondering about Red.
Warren Beatty is alive.
Sure, but you know, is he though? You know, really, is Warren Beatty alive?
I mean, Lando famously he said the wrong thing at the Oscars that one time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's more alive than any of us. Good for him.
What about Red 2?
Red Tua?
No, Red 2, starring Bruce Willis and who else is in that?
Oh
movie?
yeah, I love that one. I forget which one
Helen
I've seen.
Mirren,
I've seen one of them.
John Malkovich.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman was in one of them.
I think he was in
the
Red.
bad guy. Yeah, he was in Red. The first Red.
Do you know what this is, Diggins?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
It's an acronym. It's based on a comic. It's called, I think it's Retired Extremely Dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, like an Expendables.
Kinda.
Yeah, but more like they're not like they're all retired, so they don't have. It's not like them going on missions. They're all just still kind of old men and women, and then have to come out of retirement.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's closer to the vibe of like, what's it like? I mean, it's like that part of G.I. Joe 2 where Bruce Willis comes out of retirement.
Like in Red.
G.I. Joe stuff. Yeah, like in Red. There was a lot of movies where he was coming out of retirement. But yeah, so Warren Beatty, I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll show up in the next one. I'm thinking like there was no, who could be the crossover? Gal Gadot probably wasn't in Red Tails, right?
And I don't think she was acting at the time, no.
Yeah, that's tricky. But, you know, there's plenty of time to fix it up, like stitch the timelines together. But you know, until then, we got to talk about the news of the week. Humongous news. Are you guys ready for this news?
I'll
Yeah,
never
let's
be
go.
ready. Tell me anyway.
All right. Here we go. The news is that there's the thing that we already talked about off mic. That they're making a How to Train Your Dragon movie, you guys. Pretty good.
Oh boy.
What do you think of
How to
that?
Train Your Dragon live action remake, you mean?
Yeah. It's Diggins' favorite.
My favorite thing in the world. Live action remakes of animated movies where they're just shot for shot remakes except less visually interesting because they're not animated.
And their movie itself you hated also, or at least have weird feelings towards. Not weird,
How
but
to Train Your
different
Dragon
than
1, fantastic movie. How to Train Your Dragon 1 is great.
But what was your? I can't remember. What was your take on How to Train Your
How
Dragon?
to Train Your
2?
Dragon 3 is a movie that endorses genocide.
Right.
Like,
I forgot.
Can you
had this
explain that
take.
to me real quick?
Yeah.
Especially now that I've heard a lot about genocide recently. I feel like I could probably maybe make a better sense for what this was.
Okay.
This argument
do you want the
went really
actual
over my head.
explanation?
Yeah, well, I'll take your explanation for why the How to Train Your Dragon movie is about genocide.
All right. I mean, well, first of all, that's a deliberately provocative statement. Essentially, the premise of How to Train Your Dragon 3 is that peaceful coexistence between different peoples is simply impossible, and that they need to be separated and like just can't live together because they will never get along, and there will always be violence and disorder, and it cannot work. And that's just the
Right.
same impulse as like a genocidal person, but like being nice about it.
And you're treating the dragons as one of the peoples?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Because
that's
I feel
how
like there
the
was
other
a
movies treat it. The other movies treat it
Yeah.
as like, we need to peacefully coexist with these dragons.
Mm-hmm. I was just wondering because I remember there was a villain in it, and I don't remember who it was, but probably
I don't
didn't
remember
do a great
anything
job.
about the villain other than he like mind controlled dragons and was like, dragons are fucking bullshit and they need to die.
Wasn't that the bad guy in the second one?
The third one also mind controls dragons because they don't have that many ideas.
I mean, it's pretty bad. If you get mind controlled dragons, you gotta watch out for them. What do you think about this remake, DJ? Are you excited?
I mean, I think this point, this point was made previously when we talked about it, but I do not like that the dragons are animated because it just feels like they popped real people into the normal movie, because I feel like the normal movies were already like at least 45% dragons. So it's like, okay, we're just doing this real people and they're not going to add anything, right? It
No.
might make it lesser. So
They never do.
I have a big, what the fuck are we doing here?
I mean, they literally do add things sometimes, but like they don't add anything. You know what I mean?
Who's Is there anybody in it that we like?
I don't even know who's in it at all.
Right?
I forgot this was even happening until we started seeing these pictures.
What's the name of the main kid? Oh, Hiccup. Okay, Mason Thames. Or Thames or whatever. He was in The Black Phone. Oh, From All Mankind. Okay. Not like a huge role, but I guess I've seen him in that.
Is that your favorite show that you never remember?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And he's he's in a very long time ago, so I don't really recognize him. And what was his dad's name in this movie?
Stoic.
Oh, wait. Yeah, Gerard Butler's in this as Stoic also. So we're doing that thing. We're just recast the guys from the cartoon.
Cool.
But not all of them, but one of them.
Only him.
Yeah. Only him,
Nick
it seems
Frost
like.
is also in it as Gobber.
Yeah.
Who was,
okay.
Fucking, who was the Scottish guy? Craig Ferguson.
Yeah. And then I'm guessing Hurl is the bad guy because that guy looks the scariest out of everybody on the IMDb pages.
There is no bad guy in the first one, other than a big dragon.
Oh, that's true. We're the bad guy, kind of. Prejudice is the bad guy. Well,
and also a big dragon.
Yeah. And they even got the writer from the How to Train Your Dragon movies to do this one too. It really is just like.
Well, I think actually what that credit is about, Nando, it's not that they got the writer to come back and write this one. It's that they just used the same script.
And well, actually,
shot for shot, but in live action.
So that's true. I also accidentally meant I meant director. They got the same director from the other ones too. So he could probably use all the same storyboards too. He's probably still got them in like his basement. Just wrap them out. Just change the guy. I think they should have been brave and gotten Jay Baruchel to stand on his like knees and just do the Hiccup stuff again. You know, that wouldn't have been that hard.
Might as well have with the amount of promise this seems like it's gonna be.
And don't even CGI the legs out. Just have him there. And you got to go like because he's older now.
Well, and I guess then later when he loses a leg at the end of the movie, spoilers for a 15-year-old movie.
Oh,
yeah, it's a good movie. I saw DJ.
If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
I can't remember. Did either of you guys see the touring stadium show of How to Train Your Dragon?
No.
It was pretty cool.
First time. Wait, you saw it?
Yes, absolutely. It was on Groupon one day, and I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing this. And it was like, it's kind of cool because it was like the first movie, but then it pretty much just was the first movie, but they had like dragon kind of things that flew around, and they used a big projector to kind of make it seem like they're flying. It's kind of cool. I didn't hate it. I feel like it's not like, it wasn't great in the sense like it wasn't like, you know, like for we were talking about this last week, or maybe I can't remember when we talked about this, but like it's not like The Lion King where like the musical on Broadway is like adds so much to it. But I do think there's like enough that it would feel like it would be at home in like a theme park, and you'd be like, that was great if you saw it at a theme park. And if you saw it on Broadway, you'd be like, you gotta do something a little bit different. But yeah. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you know what? It should be a Broadway musical. Are there any songs in it? I can't remember.
Yeah, because you could do some fun like work with the dragon. I feel like that might actually be really cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's also like
because there's not songs in the first one, you'd have to do anything different.
Yeah, right. You could get like someone who's like a guy. Besides Lin-Manuel Miranda. No, besides him. Although, honestly, you know what? I think we've said it before, and, you know, we're going to definitely say it when Moana 2 comes out with no Lin-Manuel Miranda music. But in a post-Wish world, I really appreciate Lin-Manuel Miranda. We didn't know what we had.
If you're going to do that style of music, you should at least get someone who's good at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they make cool animatronic dragons. I like that. Yeah, I think that I'm putting the thing in the chat. I'm sure you guys probably search for it, but this is like an interview with some of the guys, and then they have their little outfits on, and they show clips of the thing, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Yeah, saw it at the IZOD Center or something. I don't know, but anyway,
it's where we graduated.
It's where you graduated.
Oh, did you?
I graduated all over town. We were the graduation where there was lots of excitement because it rained, and then they went, wait, we never thought about this before. And then they shuffled everybody into different rooms. It was pretty cool.
Last time they ever did that,
right?
Just so nuts.
Yeah. It was really special.
Well, you guys got like the fake graduation because you didn't go to the real school. You know, we got the real graduation.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
You guys were like second tier. But you still got to hear from the guy who punched that reporter or headbutted that reporter, whatever.
We might not have heard from him.
Oh my God. They told us that he went to you guys too.
Okay. Well, maybe he did. We missed something. I can't remember if it was that or the like valedictorian or whatever speech, but it might have been that.
Yeah. Both speeches very Jesus-y. Not there's anything wrong with that.
Yes, I remember hearing that.
There's something wrong with that about like a public speech you're giving to a bunch of students who don't go to a religious college, I think.
Especially our college that was about as secular as colleges get, I feel like.
Yeah, it's fair.
We're pretty. It was not a although I don't know. It was great. Anyway, speaking of things that are secular.
Sorry, I do want to say real quick, I'm looking at this video you sent. Hey, these animatronics do look really good.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
And B, I like how they're actually different, more realistic designs, so they don't look insane next to real people.
I had not seen that until
apparently
just
a
now.
much higher budget Hollywood movie couldn't do.
Well, if we didn't have that, then people would, we'd be like, it would be very upsetting. Plus, they couldn't use all those same storyboards. They'd have to change them, So it's a lot of work.
Fair point.
This also seems to be the director. I'm looking at this now. Director How You Train Your Dragon 1, 2, 3, and then 1A or whatever. Also directed Lilo and Stitch, and they're also remaking that in live action, but he's not doing it. So great. Yeah. Well, we'll all be talking about that. I can't wait. Everybody, mark your calendars for the week that's on the pod. It's gonna be a big disaster.
The Lilo and Stitch remake.
Yeah. Or this How to Train Your Dragon one. I don't know. But speaking of big disasters, but also speaking of secular, somewhat religious holidays, take it in a completely secular direction.
Hey,
let's talk about a movie that we've already said the name of like 100 times. Red One.
Red One.
Whoa.
The movie of the week. The movie everybody's talking about.
It's on everybody's lips. I see every time I go outside this week, I just hear the people on the street, and they're not even talking to each other. They're just looking each other in the eyes and just chanting over and over again. Red one, red one, red one, red one.
And they like flip over a car and shit, and just go throw a big thing through a window in a shop.
Absolutely. Losing their minds, rioting. Every second that Red One is not playing in front of their eyeballs, they're losing it.
Lucky them. It's probably be on Amazon within the hour. I don't expect it's going to take very long. But, well, we'll talk about it, but maybe it'll be a big hit. Maybe it just needs a little time, some positive word of mouth.
We already know that it's not. Like,
well, yeah,
we can...
Slow burn, Diggins, long tail, maybe.
I guess it could have a long tail.
It's going to have a long tail. What does it have to compete with? Wicked and Gladiator? I think it'll be fine. And then Moana, yeah, I think it'll be okay. It seems like it's pretty loved. What are the fans of The Rock going to do? See one of those other movies? They can't. So there's really nothing.
Watch professional wrestling.
More of that, yeah. Well, we got to talk about Red One because it is the movie, like we were saying, of the year, maybe of the week. Maybe not of the week, but definitely of something. And DJ, as the IMDb'sman, you get to do all the stuff.
I do get to do all this stuff. So it is time for the IMDb, B as in spelling bee, where my two esteemed co-hosts here have to guess the IMDb summary as written down on IMDb.com. I know you're all wondering, where does the IMDb summary come from? And it's a fascinating tale. Every year there is there's a soup making competition, and everyone gathers in Austria, which is the world headquarters for all soup.
What city in Austria?
The capital.
Yeah, which is
Oslo.
The capital of Norway. Interesting.
Yeah, you got a capital though. That's nice. I'll be honest. I don't think I know what it is.
The capital of Austria, very famous city. Very famous.
Oh, is it? Okay, I think I know where it is then.
Yeah.
Is it Prague? Is that it? No,
that's the capital of Czechia.
Damn it. Wait. Okay. Really famous city. We can do this, guys. Me and DJ working together. San Francisco. That's pretty famous. What are other ones?
The red light district.
Austria.
Austria.
Brussels? No, that's its own
nope,
place.
that's in Belgium.
Yep.
Not even the capital, I don't think. Oh no, it is. I was thinking Bruges.
Capital. Is it Bruges?
Is it that?
Also Belgium.
Damn it. I thought that was a trick.
Our Austrian listeners are so angry.
You're going to feel
they
like
usually
real
are.
idiots when I say what the capital of Austria is.
It's not more than I do right now. Excuse you.
If you give me a letter, I think I can get it.
If I give you a letter, you will 1000% get it.
Okay, then don't give me a letter.
Test this. Vienna.
Oh, yeah, I do.
It's Vienna, yeah.
Oh, where they make the fingers, right? Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, all right. Damn.
So is that where the soup gets made too? That makes sense.
Yeah, Vienna is also the soup capital of the world, but you didn't know that, Diggins.
I can't say that I did.
Everyone gets to Vienna and they make their best soup, and then the czar of soups, Sir.
The czar in Austria?
Yeah, the Austrian czar, the czar of soups. Sir.
And that's what they call him, to be clear.
Yes. Richard Schlattenberg. He tastes every single soup. Over 8,000 soups he tastes over the course of it's like 3 months or something like that. And then he decides.
Yeah, it's gotta be a lot of time.
Yeah, right. It's a lot of.
Does he eat things in between the soups?
Yeah, I think
to cleanse his palate.
Yeah, cleanse his palate.
Yeah, he has some wasabi on hand.
Yeah, ginger. Just
and then does he go through all the tomato soups in one sitting, and then
it's by category.
Okay.
And there's like bracket style where then it's like, oh, here's out of the tomato division, here's out of the pumpkin division, right? And he goes through all of them. And then they go bracket style competition, soup for soup. And then the winner of the best soup, they have an agreement with IMDb because IMDb has absolutely no money left, that they've taken sponsorships from everywhere, and they need the free labor from everywhere. So whoever gets the soup, best soup gets to, if you get the best soup, you can write an IMDb summary from any movie ever, and then it kind of goes down there. Like second place is from like this, the past 50 years, and like 8th place is this decade, and it gets all the way down to like this year, and then you have like month and year where it's like you have to do it for November 2024's Red One. So it's like
that's absolute last place.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, right, exactly. So like you probably, I assume if you win, you want to do like Titanic or something like that.
Yeah, is that why the summaries change sometimes for no reason?
Yeah,
and you're
probably.
Like, I'm pretty sure this was different the other day. Yeah, it's like the soup thing.
I think it might be true for this. I can't know that because I didn't look ahead of time, but I'm like, this was probably different at some point. So maybe needless to say.
Before we go on, DJ, actually, could you quickly explain the history for me of why this Austrian soup person uses the Russian title Tsar instead of the German title Kaiser?
He's Russian. Like the guy is Russian.
So it's just because the one with the title right now happens to be Russian, so he says Tsar.
Right.
Even though it is literally the same word as the German word Kaiser.
Yeah, but also, Diggins, to be clear, Tsar is not exclusive to Russia. We have Tsars all over America.
That's true. We did get some Tsars.
Yeah, we have plenty of
Tsars. It was weird when we started getting Tsars.
That is actually an interesting etymology where we, as Americans, adapted it to sort of evoke the autocratic rulers of Russia. To be like, when you say that something is the something czar, you're like, well, they're fully in charge. They have all the power.
Why did we do that?
Within this, I don't know why we did that or when, but that is the etymology.
So I know why we're doing it now.
Well, yeah, now it's different. But before, I feel like it was like Obama did it, and it was like we had a lot of czars around then.
That's been a practice that's been around for decades at least.
Have they been like officially the czar?
That's like it's not like a official like cabinet appointed position, but it's a title that people give when they're like, you're in charge of all our efforts about this.
Yeah.
I will say incidentally, Soup Nazi crushes this competition. Very often it's like getting his pick of the
Yev Kasem.
Well, yeah, people of his kind are really having a great time of things in the world lately, so
Oh, the Soup Nazi wasn't a Nazi. I feel like the Soup Nazi is barely even, like, I don't remember where he's from, but I don't feel like we ever get an ethnicity from him. But like I said, his name is Yev Kasem, so I'm sure there's something there in terms of some region that you could probably guess where he's from. But also, he has like lots of stores now. He's like the cake boss, you know?
Right, yeah.
It's like, what even is he?
Corporatized, yeah. It's gross.
They took our fine Soup Nazi and the halal guys and all the guys that used to be cool and small, and now they're big and everywhere.
Yeah,
that used to benefit us, but now it just benefits everybody, and that's worse.
Big soup.
Yeah. What about chowders? Did chowders count in this?
There's a chowder division too, and some say it's unfair that the chowders have to go up against the runny soups, but sometimes the runny soups do real well. You know. So
what about a chili? Can you make a chili?
Oh, that feels like
it's been a controversy for some time. I don't believe chilies have been admitted. I think they get like their own mini bracket where it's like there's like the chili chef, and he's like, all right, I'll taste your chilies and come over here. You know,
it's like the puppy
bowl. Is a hot
dog
a sandwich, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, whoever did get to pick to write the summary for Red One, they might have had a bit of a higher. They might have did better than you might think. It's a fine summary. It's quite broad, but you know, it's not. I don't know. It's not wrong. So yeah, that's what I would say about this. So who gets to go first?
Well, as last week's, some would say unfairly robbed loser. Some would say spiritual winner. I do get to choose, and I'm going to choose to go first because I think I've got it.
Okay.
All right. When Santa is kidnapped from the when Santa is kidnapped from the North Pole, his head of security, Callum Drift, is forced to team up with the
good luck
criminal and naughty lister Jack O'Malley in order to save Santa in time to make sure Christmas happens.
All right, Nando.
Okay. All right, I'm going to say Santa's head of security, Callum Drift, needs to work with a I want to say, you know what? Let's just call him the world's greatest tracker to find Santa Claus after he is kidnapped and all of the world and Christmas is put into jeopardy.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of you clearly won. I do not want to say who. I do have a
I don't
tiebreaker
trust it.
that's quick and I think pretty fun.
Is it quick bite?
A little quick bite. And if you guys are
Could you wait? Sorry, quick bite feels like too long a phrase. Can we workshop
That's
some
true.
kind of like shorter way to say that?
bites.
Yeah, I don't know.
Quite.
It can't be done.
I like
Quick
quite.
Quite.
Quite, yeah.
Well, I have a quite game, and if the person who's down crushes it, maybe they take the day. Like they go like all home runs, and the other person just falls in their face.
Sounds good to me.
I mean, I'll allow it. I just feel like you're saying this because you think that Nando won, even though he probably didn't.
All right, well,
We'll
let's see. So here's the game. Like I said, it's a quick game. So this is inspired by Nando's game last week. I have assembled a list of actors. Some of these actors have played Santa Claus. Some of them have not played Santa Claus. I'm going to name the actor, and you're each going to tell me whether or not they played Santa Claus. If you do think they played Santa Claus, I want you to give me the movie that they played Santa Claus in. I'll give you a bonus point.
Okay.
And we don't have
to
get the movie, but we get bonuses if we do.
Exactly.
Is it going to be? Are we both answering each question, or is it one and then the other one and the other one?
I think I'll give it to you both, like alternating.
Okay. I think if I may propose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, were they Santa or not, binary choice. Once someone gets it wrong, like that's it. But I feel like there should still be a chance to steal on the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
That feels right.
Yeah. All right. I like that. Okay, great. And some of this is voice acting work if you want to, just as a forewarning. So just to make sure I have everything up
I
here.
think that counts.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree.
As long as it's not stunt work,
All right.
Then they can
if you say J.K. Simmons is stunt double in this movie, then that's horseshit.
No. All right, so I guess we'll go Diggins, Nando. All right, so first one up, Liam Neeson.
I'm going to say no.
And then does DJ say if it's right or wrong, or then do I?
No, and then I think, Nando, you also guess, right? Or
okay.
No,
oh, is that? I didn't think that's what we said.
Yeah, I was under the impression it was you're gonna say it and then we're gonna both go.
Oh,
again.
I see. Yeah, okay. So we'll go. Yeah, we'll go with that. No. You're right. You guys are both right. That is correct. Point for Diggins. Nando, Paul Giamatti.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Okay. And what movie do you think?
I think he was Santa Claus in Fred Claus.
That is 2 points.
I've never seen it, but Oh, okay.
Yeah. 2 points for Nando. Diggins, John Goodman.
See, I can't think of where it was, but I feel like if John Goodman hasn't been Santa, then we as a society have failed.
Yeah, we got to get him in that Santa booth soon.
So I'm going to say yes.
All right. Would you like to throw out what you think he's been Santa in?
He was Santa in King Ralph. He was also Santa.
Oh shit!
No. So
wait, can I steal?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Yeah. So we have the steal opportunity. Yeah. So Nando, steal.
I can't remember if this was him, but was he Santa in that movie Claus that was on Netflix like 3 years ago?
No, unfortunately.
No.
So no one gets the point here. So actually 4 different appearances as Santa, 3 voice acting, 1 live action. Voice acting was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie, Futurama. He's
Robot Santa.
Robot Santa. Yeah. It's a SpongeBob Christmas.
Oh.
And he was also in the 2006 live action The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that was Diggins's. So now it's to Nando. Brad Pitt.
Has Brad Pitt ever played Santa Claus? He's been in a lot of stuff, but I'm going to say no. I don't think he has been Santa Claus.
He has not been Santa Claus.
Okay.
Diggins. William
Good.
Shatner.
I'm gonna say yes. That feels like the sort of novelty thing he'd do.
And would you like to throw what he's been Santa Claus in?
In a special episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Unfortunately, no. Nando, would you like to try and steal?
I mean, I'll take a shot. Is he in Boston Legal or something?
No, this is
That
like
was a show he was on.
Crazy deep. It's Eek the Cat. It's a very merry Eeksmas. And some direct-to-TV movie, Gotta Catch Santa Claus, which seems like it was nowhere. But
well, I feel
Shatner.
better knowing there was no chance in hell I would ever get that.
Is it from the villain from this movie's perspective?
Yeah,
She's
right.
gotta catch Santa Claus.
All right. Nando, what for you? Mickey Rooney.
I mean, Mickey Rooney, yes, has definitely been Santa Claus.
Okay. Movie?
So I'm torn on this one because I can't remember if he is. So I'm torn between two at least, and technically it could be both, I guess. But I don't want to say them because I don't want Diggins to get it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say he was Santa Claus in what the fuck's it called? The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Unfortunately, no. Diggins, would you like to steal?
Who was the actor again? Sorry.
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney was Santa in an episode of Animaniacs.
No, but I love that.
Nice.
So he was Santa in like those like 70s, like Santa Claus Coming to Town, Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph and Frosty
really?
Christmas in July, yeah, and then
He's the stop motion Santa.
Yeah, he's stop motion Santa, and some mid 2000s work, the Happy Elf and a Miser Brothers Christmas. Those are 05 and 08 respectively.
Oh, like
Miser
Keep
Brothers
Miser
are from the Year Without a Santa Claus, so that makes sense that he would reprise his role.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So Diggins, this is to you. This is Alec Baldwin.
Ooh. I'm gonna say yes.
All right. What do you think he played Santa Claus in?
He was Santa Claus in some terrible comedy from like the early to mid 2000s, probably.
You're gonna have to be more specific than that. Alec Baldwin had his plate full of terrible comedies from the mid to late 2000s. They kept trying to pry him back to 30 Rock, but he was like, "No, I need to make bad movies. That's my job."
Let's go with Christmas with the Cranks. He appeared as Santa.
No, Nando, would you like
Can
to try
I
and steal
steal?
here? Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing it real cool. He's the Santa Claus in Rise of the Guardians.
Yes, he is. He's the Santa. He's the big, strong Santa.
Russian Santa
I am
Claus, yeah.
Santa Claus.
That's
yeah.
Alec Baldwin?
He is.
Yeah, it's Alec Baldwin. But good instinct.
And you weren't wrong.
Baldwin
2010s,
was
I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
2012. Yeah.
2012.
All
yeah.
right. Nando,
See, you
this is
forgot
you.
because he's not in all those pictures you draw, Diggins. That's just Jack Frost and the other one,
Elsa.
Frozen.
Kissing.
Elsa. Yeah,
Elsa,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
You got to draw
Right,
more
yeah,
background
anytime-
characters.
That's right. Yeah, like whenever I watch Rise of the Guardians, I only have eyes for Jack. It's true.
Yeah, you mute it every time. Just anyone but Jack speaks. No, thank you.
All right. Nando, this is to you. Steven Seagal.
Oh,
A crossover with last week's game.
yeah. How can he not? Right? Yeah. I'm gonna say yes. He has been a Santa Claus, and then my guess for what he's been a Santa Claus in is like the Fairly Odd Parents or something like that.
Ooh, I like that. Nando, this is the first one that's wrong, actually. Steven Seagal has never played Santa Claus.
Never been Santa Claus. No,
Never
okay.
been Santa Claus.
I was just thinking, it's been a while since we got to know.
Yeah, and Santa Claus has to stand up usually at some point. Well, not in this movie, I guess. So never mind. He should have. I mean, not he should have because he's weird now. But if there was ever a Santa Claus movie for him, it would have been this one.
I think it's really easy to have a cameo of Santa who never stands up. He's
right?
At the ball thing, or he's in his sleigh.
Right. Yeah.
It's the action Santas that have to stand up,
Yeah.
It's like action movie Santas. I don't want to spoil any potential future Santas, but
that's true. Yeah.
All right, so Diggins, this is to you. Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, he's Bad Santa.
That's right. He is Bad Santa.
So this is weird. I didn't know whether to put this in a curveball. I don't think he's technically Santa Claus in that movie.
Oh, he's not the mythical figure of Santa Claus. But come on, the
that's
movie's
true.
called Bad Santa.
I forgot about that one. All
worth the
right.
point.
Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
Is there another one that we should have guessed?
No. That's
Okay.
That's
Wait, so you were gonna
funny.
say that would have been really funny? No, Billy Bob Thornton never been Santa. Yeah, nothing. Also,
in my
never been
head for
Sling
some
Blade.
reason,
It's really crazy. He's never been in either of those things.
It's hard to come
Here's
up
what I'm
with
going to say, DJ. Now that you've already rolled over, it's too late. But if you had really stuck to your guns and saying, like, no, he's like a mall Santa. That's not Santa. That doesn't count. I would have been like, fuck, you got me. But you already rolled over, so it's too late.
Yeah, I
feel like there's
over.
Yeah. But
right,
keep going, DJ.
No.
I could do the whole podcast of this game.
Oh, really? Good.
Fascinating.
Well,
yeah.
That's good because we will.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this was to you, Nando. James Earl Jones.
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna say it was something animated because he's not white, and people would have made a big stink of it.
The Megyn Kellys of the world would have been furious.
Yeah. So it's like a thing we haven't named yet. That's like an animated thing. That's a Christmas thing. You know what? I'm just gonna keep guessing until it's right. Is he in Nightmare Before Christmas?
He is not.
Probably not, right? Yeah, I probably remember
Diggins,
that.
do you like to try and steal?
My facts leave my brain immediately these days. The actor again is
James Earl Jones.
Obviously, he was Santa in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
That's a good guess. So this is another deep cut. He was in the Recess Christmas special, the animated show Recess, a Recess Christmas Miracle on 3rd Street.
Huh.
Was he white?
I
bet he was.
I think we gotta look. Hold on.
I bet he was. Yeah.
No.
All right. Recess show Santa.
I'd be really proud of him if it's not, but I don't think it.
Oh, guys. Great news.
What?
Great
it's
news.
The whitest ass Santa I've ever seen.
but it's James Earl Jones.
Yep. That's just how they do it. I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't be the first time he has turned out to be a white guy secretly. But like in the Star Wars.
But not season 2, episode 19. Yes, Mikey, Santa does shave. This has to be from the movie.
Oh, okay. That is what I was looking at. So maybe what's the movie called?
Recess Christmas Miracle on 3rd Street.
Man.
Okay.
Didn't know there were two Recess Santas.
I know, right?
I liked Recess. I thought it was a fun show.
Let's see. It seems like this Santa might be white too. Let's see.
That'd be a real curveball if they went to Black Santa.
Yeah,
for the second Santa. Yeah. And listen,
everything I'm seeing is either the like DVD cover of this movie or from the other episode.
Yeah, no, it does seem that it's like a compilation, and yeah, it seems like it's White Santa. So
there you go.
Well,
that's what it used to be. There was you couldn't even imagine a non-white Santa, but you could imagine one that sounds exactly like James Earl Jones. That was fine for people. They're like, yeah, of course.
And I need to be very clear. I'm not 100% on this, just because it's it's not clear like what's the mall Santa versus this other Santa, but either way, it's
Either way,
he is Santa. So whose one was that? That was you, right? Nando?
that was mine, I
you.
think. Yeah.
Right. Yep. So yeah, this one was almost made for Diggins. Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Oh, God, has Nick Cage ever been Santa? Oh, I'm going into my mind palace.
Right. Me
back
too.
Through his filmography, has he ever been Santa? He's definitely wanted to be.
Would he though?
But it's
I don't
never happened
know.
for him. Oh man, this is. If I get this wrong, we have to edit it out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna say he's done so much in his career is the thing. So it's like there's always possible there's something I'm missing.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say no.
All right. Well, your instincts have not betrayed you. Nicolas Cage has never been Santa Claus.
That makes sense.
All right. Whew. Oh, my reputation was on the line there.
He's been in plenty of movies with Santa, but he's never actually been Santa Claus. So, yeah.
Nice.
Good stuff there. Okay. Nando, Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Okay.
Sam Elliott.
Not remind me, but he's the one. He's that guy who's like, Sam Elliott.
Yeah, he's the one.
Yeah,
He's the one who's like, I don't think that cowboys should be gay.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's that one.
There have been tales of the Ghost Rider for many ages.
Yeah, he's the caretaker. I'm gonna.
DJ, pretty good, Sam Elliott.
Oh, thank you.
So I don't even have a guess. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay,
Like I can't even fashion a guess.
And that is correct. Sam Elliott has never been Santa. Although I would love to. What do you want for Christmas, little boy?
Yeah,
but it better not be a gay cowboy.
Yeah, what is it, a doll? No, this.
Better be for your sister.
Yeah.
Diggins, Tom Hanks.
I feel like he must have been, right? Like,
he's America's dad.
Would America's sweetheart ever have not been Santa? I'm going to say yes. Tom Hanks has been Santa.
All right, and would you like to guess what film he was Santa in,
or what recess episode? He's actually in season 2 of episode 13 of Recess.
That's true. He was Santa in the Toy Story Christmas special, obviously.
Can I steal?
Yeah, please steal.
He voices Santa in Polar Express.
Yes.
Fuck.
He does multiple voices in Polar Express. Yeah. Playing it cool again. Yeah, that's all time. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done in other stuff, but there's that.
Yeah, this is the big one. They have like several. They have like every time the person played Santa.
Probably fucking David F. Pumpkins Saturday Night Live Christmas special or something. They really milked David F. Pumpkins that year.
All right.
Well, listen, they get a hit so rarely.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, Nando. Edward Ivory.
Okay, I'm gonna say he's the one in Nightmare Before Christmas.
There you go.
Is that right? Yeah.
I just had to put it in there.
Thank God.
I don't even know if I want to give you points for that one because it's not an
actor. You don't have
He's
to. I didn't think he was a famous person, but yeah,
he has been an actor at least once in his life, DJ.
Yeah, but you know how I know it's bad? I can't click his name on Wikipedia. So that's how I know it's bad.
Wow.
Everyone else here, I'm clicking names up and down. Not this guy. No, Ned, I'll give you a real one. Okay, so the real one is Kevin James.
Oh.
Has Kevin James ever been Santa? Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I've got two I'm really itching between, but I'm gonna go with my gut here and say he was Santa in an episode of King and Queens. Like he is the Santa of that universe as well.
All right. Diggins, would you like to try and steal?
So you're asking me to steal. Does that mean you are tacitly conceding that Nando is correct? Kevin James has been Santa?
That is correct. Kevin James has been Santa.
Okay. Because I was actually going to say no, but now that I know that, I'm going to say Kevin James was Santa in the Paul Blart Christmas special.
Ooh, nice.
Both.
Can I make another guess for no points?
Yeah, no points guess.
Is he Santa Claus in 8 Crazy Nights?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they were friends yet.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
I don't think you guys ever would have got this. So he was actually Santa in an episode of Sesame Street, Elmo's Christmas Countdown. So
okay.
Sometimes I get celebrities to play different parts and stuff. So yeah. But Kevin James feels like a Santa Claus type. That was.
By which you mean he's overweight
and white, Diggins, and white.
Jolly. Yeah.
That was Nando's. So yeah, back to Diggins. Bill Hader.
I mean, there must be an SNL episode, right?
All right, so it's like not an SNL skit where like maybe he was Santa. I'll give you that like a freebie. Like Bill Hader in non SNL work.
Okay. I'm gonna go with yes.
Okay. And would you just give me a movie?
I would like to, but it's very difficult.
That would be part of it.
Well, let me help you. It's very difficult because he's never been Santa Claus.
Fuck.
Wait, really? I was convinced he was Santa Claus in that movie, Holly.
Okay, so thinking of the wrong movie, and maybe we'll get there. But he isn't in that movie, but he's not Santa Claus.
Oh,
not that I'm not loving this, DJ, but how many of these are there?
That's a good question.
I have like 6 left.
Okay. We'll storm through them.
I know I said it would be quick, but I'm sure everyone's having fun. And you guys said you could, like Captain America, you could do this all day.
And
like
we're
Chris
learning
Evans.
so much. I like it when I learn things about recess and race in America in 1999 or whenever that came out.
We got to the IMDb like within like 15 minutes, and I was like, "Wow, is this going to be kind of a quick one?" And now we're fucking half an hour later. Haven't even gotten a summary.
No. Diggins, we're having way too much fun with this tiebreaker. Which, by the way, it's like the score's tied. You guys are both tied, so we don't even need this. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah, it's already can't possibly be a blowout, so it doesn't count for anything.
Yeah, this is meaningless work we're doing.
A blowout.
All right. Well, this is back to Nando. Rob Schneider.
Is he the Santa Claus in 8 Crazy Nights? Via the Adam Sandler Connect? That's my guess. I don't know if there is a Santa Claus in 8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not on this. He's not. So as far as I know, Rob Schneider's never been Santa Claus. And I will say, I did pick Santas that, and I should have stuck with my guns with the Billy Bob Thornton. I didn't roll over. I did pick like canonical magical Santa, not like plays a mall Santa.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
I think that's the right choice, and I think that the fact that you let me walk all over you is really just a
cowardice
to your own cowardice.
Yeah. So because I did pick just magical Santas. So
gotcha.
No, Rob Schneider, never Santa.
Santa.
Diggins, this was to you. Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, he must have, right? He must have.
Would you like to tell me what Dick Van Dyke was Santa Claus in? You can't, because he's never been Santa Claus, Diggins. Never been Santa Claus.
I should have realized he's a Finn. They'd never let him.
Yeah.
No, they're going to put pillows down there.
Retired Santa or something or whatever,
All right. So now it's going to get fun. I got 4 left. So,
okay.
All right. So Nando.
Yep.
Anna Kendrick.
Yeah. She was Santa Claus in that movie, Holly, right?
It's Noelle, but yeah.
Noelle, that's what it was. Yeah, she takes over the role of Santa Claus because her brother abdicates Santa Claus.
So for those listening, the way Santa Claus works in that movie, it's not one guy. There's like, she's the 23rd Santa Claus. Santa Claus gets passed down through like the generations. It hasn't been one guy for the whole time, like in every other instance of Santa Claus. What a weird choice by that movie.
Well, not every other instance of Santa Claus.
Hold on.
There's one pretty important one that, maybe the definitive Santa Claus, if you want to be,
fair enough. I'm sorry.
Maybe the Santa
He might
Claus.
be the Santa Claus.
He's not on this list because it was too obvious. But all right, fair enough.
I mean, I wouldn't put him on either because we've gotten it instantly.
I was kind of hoping you had a voice actor for the guy that falls off the roof or something. That would have been fun.
All right. So this one is. I realize I have 3 left. I didn't do the numbers correctly, but it doesn't matter. Actually, the last one will be for both of you because it's fun.
Yeah,
all right.
whatever.
So Diggins, Tommy Lee Jones.
Ooh. Has Tommy Lee Jones ever been Santa? I'm going to say no.
That is correct. Tommy Lee Jones has never been Santa Claus. Nando, John Malkovich.
Oh, he's so weird of a choice that maybe he has been Santa. But in what? Do I have even a kind of a guess at a thing that he's been Santa Claus in? And the answer is I don't. So I'm gonna guess no for this one too.
All right. So that is incorrect. He actually has been Santa Claus. Diggins, you want to take a freaking I don't think there's no way you'll get this unless you know.
Tell me the actor again.
John Malkovich. If you somehow have this insane trivia knowledge of what he played Santa Claus in.
Obviously, he was Santa in Being John Malkovich.
Yeah, right.
Of course. So something called Santa Bear's High Flying Adventure, which seems to be it's a 1987 TV movie. Bunch of bears are doing some Christmas stuff. But there's no big name actors in this movie except for John Malkovich, who is Santa Claus. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Is he a bear?
Yeah, it's like Bear
Is
Santa.
It Claus with a WS?
Clever.
Clever.
That's sometimes how they do it.
Yeah. All right. This is the last one. We'll say this for both of you. Russell Crowe. Has Russell Crowe ever been Santa Claus?
Well, via DJ logic, yes, he was Santa Claus in 2 Netflix movies. But in the rest of the world logic, has Russell Crowe ever been Santa Claus? I don't know if Russell Crowe has ever been Santa Claus.
I want so bad for you to have meant Kurt Russell on this question.
I mean, he has to know we know who Kurt Russell was Santa Claus. We've covered both of those movies. We talk about them all the time because they were so stupid.
It would be a stupid inclusion for that reason, yes, but I want it.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, you know what? The fact that it's in here in the end makes me think he has been Santa in something. So I'm going to say he is Santa in, what kind of shit does he do? He voice acts Santa in, I really got nothing. The Australia movie. You know, he's a CGI Santa in it. I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Do you have any guesses, Dickens?
Yeah,
Russell Crowe Santa.
Diggins? Also, he it wouldn't be Australian. He's from New Zealand, but we'll let that go.
He voices Santa in Arthur Christmas.
Oh, does he?
Is that true?
I don't know. I said that very confidently.
Oh,
but
okay.
I was guessing.
I remember that movie, Arthur Christmas.
Yeah, what a good movie. So Russell Crowe he has not been Santa. But I did put him in there because of the Kurt Russell thing, and I realized it would have been funny if that were the case, Diggins. But no, I did not make the confusion.
Interesting.
That's fine. I can believe it in my heart that you did.
Who's your favorite Santa DJ in any movie?
Holy moly!
Well, hold on. Are we done? This is like
it's over. It's over.
Oh yeah, I guess we're done.
It's a tie, 8-8. Congratulations.
Incredible.
Congratulations.
You're so good at this.
Tiebreaker ends in a tie.
Well, good thing the tiebreaker wasn't breaking a tie then.
Yeah. 2 hours and a half hour of useless bullshit.
No, it's great. We learned all the Santa
This
stuff.
podcast is 4 hours of useless bullshit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Come on.
Do I have a favorite Santa? I don't know. I never saw I didn't put him in here, but I never saw Fat Man with Mel Gibson. Maybe he's a good Santa.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's definitely your favorite Santa because he's the one who keeps the real spirit of Christianity.
Yeah,
hating the Jews.
What was his that movie came out like within a year of the other one, right? The one,
yeah, it was like Christmas
Night.
or Violent Night. That was it. Yeah.
And Christmas Chronicles too. But yeah, we had a real rush of like, what if Santa was a cool guy, action guy? And then this movie, 8 years later or whatever, somehow managed to try to get into conversation.
Bro, what if Santa had massive gains? What if he just fucking bench pressed like 800 pounds, bro? All right. So there was a clear winner in this summary, and it was Diggins.
What?
Yeah, he really had the just like sense of the movie. So let me read it. After Santa Claus, codenamed Red One, is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security must team up with the world's most infamous bounty hunter in a globe-trotting, action-packed mission to save Christmas. So
he's not a bounty hunter.
That's not true at all.
I know.
Yeah,
didn't matter. So
Diggins had tracker multiple times. Stupid, but that is what they call him because they're trying to square the hacking thing with that he could find Santa somehow. Anyway, whatever.
Diggins had the like after he's kidnapped, Dwayne has to team up to save Christmas. The end of yours was kind of more like all over the place and stuff, but Diggins you really had like the flow of it, so you'd get the W here.
I was really banking on him being a tracker and a thing.
I mean, if he was, then maybe that would have did it for you. I think it's possible. Terrific. But good job, Diggins. It's a good. I feel like it's been a minute since you've had a good dub, so you know.
I deserve this. It's true.
Yeah, I think so.
And I also deserved not having to try to summarize Red One.
Yeah,
so, good for me.
Well, you know what that does.
Oh no, shit.
Well, yeah, a couple things, but most importantly, first, Diggins, you do get to tell us what you thought of Red One.
All right, so we've been joking about this movie for I feel like over a year, where we just were like, oh, it's the new Red Notice. It's a weird Netflix movie, even though it's an Amazon movie that nobody wants and isn't going to be any good. And The Rock peed in bottles and it costs way too much money and all sorts of other stuff like that. And just like none of us had any confidence that we were going to like this movie. But then, guys, a miracle happened. I walked into a theater today. I sat down in a literally empty theater. In the best seat in the house, and I watched a movie called Red One that met every single one of my expectations. It's not very good.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like all these Netflix movies. Again, not a Netflix movie, we know that, but it has the vibe of one. Where it's not a disaster. It's not like completely unwatchably horrible. Like people are putting in okay performances. The basic structure and idea is like fine. But it's just so lifeless. The word I kept thinking of when I was watching it is ponderous. This movie is is so ponderous. Like, especially in the beginning, I felt like we took 5 times as long to set up everything as we needed to, where they just have to like, it kind of felt like in Hard Ticket to Hawaii when it's like they would show the 3 minutes of the girls getting changed for no reason, just because to show the boobs. But like we would have that like 3 minutes of them like walking around the compound and like getting things ready and like talking to each other that didn't do anything for the movie, except I don't even get to see anybody's boobs.
That would have helped, right?
If The Rock had shown me a single boob in any of those scenes, I would have been like, hell yeah.
That's right.
But as it was, it just is boring. Now, I will say, the first couple scenes with Chris Evans, I was like, this is something. I kind of like this. Because Chris Evans at the start of this movie is a real piece of shit. In a way that I feel like these movies never want to commit to.
Yep.
Like, he's a bad guy. He's responsible for the problems in the movie. He's a terrible dad. And just like completely selfish and not there for the people in his life. And I was like, and he was having some fun with that. I felt like he was, clearly like in Knives Out when he plays Ransom, he was doing the sort of like smarmy, like, I don't really give a shit about anyone else sort of performance that I thought was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But then he meets up with The Rock, and just The Rock in this movie is a charisma vacuum.
Oof.
A charisma black hole. And here's, I think, the main problem with this movie. Because I don't necessarily think it's not because he is himself as a charmless actor. He's not. He's very charming in many movies. He wouldn't be this famous if he wasn't. The problem with this movie is it wants to be silly. It wants to be like, oh, we're like taking this such a silly premise so seriously that it becomes kind of funny, right? Like that's the basic idea that's going on here. But the problem is it takes the silly concept and like makes it so generic and like every other action movie that it stops being silly. Like the whole like Santa Claus, like North Pole organization thing is, other than that there's this polar bear sometimes, is just given the same visual look and like treatment and everything as like, it doesn't feel any different than them walking in like Avengers compound. It's the same kind of like bland, like there's a bunch of tech stuff and like guys in at computers typing away, and like people acting like the military even though they're not the military because we're being paid by the military to make them look good. And so when you have people just acting seriously in that, even though ostensibly it's like Santa and magic and therefore a little silly, it just feels like I'm watching a generic Avengers type movie. It doesn't feel like I don't love those Christmas Chronicles movies, but the Santa organization in that is like magic. They're like, oh, we ran out of cookies for the cookie engine. Oh boy, we're gonna have to go down to the jolly old woods to get some more peppermint bark to make more cookies. And it's like,
that's true.
That's silly. Whereas this is like, well, I guess we'll need to go get more electricity for the furnace that we use for like the fucking computers that we use to calculate naughtiness. And it's like, that's nothing. What you said is nothing. So I just don't like it. I think it doesn't know how to play it in a way that taking it seriously is funny. It plays it in a way that's so straight that it stops being funny. And that just makes the whole premise of the movie fall flat, and I don't like it. Kiernan Shipka is pretty cool, though. Totally wasted, but at least she seems like she wants to be a villain in this movie.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Criminal waste of Bonnie Hunt, also. What about you, Nando? What did you think of this movie?
Loved it. Loved every second of it. It was great. Because it was like a Marvel movie, and those are the best ones. It was like an Ant-Man movie, for sure. I mean, it was like an Ant-Man movie in that they do the gimmick where the cars are stuff.
Scathing criticism, like an Ant-Man movie.
So much
and it
Ant-Man.
looked a lot like Quantumania in the Christmas stuff, especially.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, I didn't say it.
had a
Also,
real
movie for being like one of the top 50 most expensive movies ever made looks pretty bad.
Especially the Christmassy stuff. Like, I do think the parts, like, there were parts of this movie that almost worked for me. Like, and even like at the end where they do like what Santa actually does and stuff, I'm like, it's okay. But like, you know, the stuff in the castle is kind of cool. Even stuff on the beach, I didn't think looked very good, but like had like a vibe of like, I like the way the snowmen kind of looked and stuff. But everything at the North Pole, man, looked so dull, which isn't like the most important thing in any movie, but like that really stinks. And
in a movie where you're trying to have a magical Christmas village, where you really need to convey that this is like big and magical and like, you know, colorful and all of that, to sort of really hit the contrast between like they're military type guys, but it's Christmas village. It is a big problem that it's not interesting to look at. Yeah.
It's a that part stinks. What else stinks? I don't like The Rock in it. I think I made a video about this. I think he's horribly miscast. because this is all he does now. Is this is Red One again, and all those other movies. I don't think Chris Evans is bad in it, but I also think he's pretty miscast. Just in terms of like why bother. I think everybody else is fine. I kind of like the script. I do think like the ideas, the movie. Okay. I liked the lore, I guess, of this Santa Claus and the explanation for like what Santa is and how Santa came up with this thing. And then this thing's actually from this guy. I thought that was pretty clever. And then the way that was woven into, the Rock's arc about doubting the thing, and then Chris Evans's arc about being a good father or whatever. Like I did like kind of like that, but yeah, the movie just is super boring. And it's not cool.
Sorry, you finish.
That's it.
I think.
What were you?
I think the bones of the Chris Evans story of like him, it's all there.
Yeah.
Like, he starts the movie as a dirtbag. He learns to, that he should care about his son and to be a nicer person. I don't feel like it's very justified in the movie itself. I feel like he just sort of becomes nicer for no reason.
Yeah, I don't think I guess his plot line I didn't love as much, but I do think the Rock's plot line and then his motivation I didn't hate. I do think the Chris Evans character just doesn't work for me overall.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the bones of the story are fine. I think the execution's just all bad.
Yeah, and also like the it's just like not that much. It's just like not really that fun. Like, say what you will about the Christmas Chronicles, but like this movie doesn't seem to have very much curiosity with like the same way I said, like it's thought Santa through a lot. Like, doesn't really have anything interesting to do with the elves or like, I don't know. Was there like even what were cookies in this? Were they anything?
They're just cookies. He just needs
They're
carbs.
just cookies, right? Yeah. So like that I didn't like. I feel like Christmas Chronicles at least kind of did that, and made Santa have like, I don't know, just more going on. And yeah, I think people in the Discord pointed this out, and it's true that like at almost every step where this movie had a choice to make an interesting like little decision, it seemed to not, was like the acronym of ELF is boring. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And it's like
you don't love enforcement, logistics, and fortification.
And fortification, that was the
So
F. Yeah.
stupid.
Like that's just so dull. And I do feel like that is the easiest part of writing a Christmas movie, is coming up with all that stuff. And then the other stuff after that gets a little trickier.
You don't think it's so funny that he's like, but to you, it just means extremely large and formidable.
Yeah. Ugh. It's weird. And I didn't like it. But yeah, I didn't mind. I agree. I kind of like Kiernan Shipka. I liked the guy for Game of Thrones, the big giant man from Game of Thrones. Lucy Liu was also there. I keep forgetting this, but she was. And Bonnie Hunt was also there.
It's easy to forget because she has nothing to do.
Shockingly nothing. Yeah, like I couldn't believe it. And J.K. Simmons, I said this in the video, has some sort of fucking like deal he has made with the cameo gods this year. Because like, remember this fucking Union movie we did like a month ago where he put in almost exactly the same amount of screen time and mostly sat like. He did that. Another movie I watched this week had a J.K. Simmons cameo. Like, and good for him if this is how how he's playing it now. But very strange. Yeah, I mean he's great in that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like there was enough of him to be fun either. I don't think he was a particularly, like we'll say in the list in 50 years, not a good Santa, like not a memorable Santa, which is pretty boring. DJ, what about you? What did you think of whatever this movie is called? Red One.
Man, I rarely do this, but I reached out to my cousin because I didn't want to watch this movie alone because I had a feeling it was going to be like fucking hilarious, and my instincts were correct because I like saw it with my cousin and we were just like laughing on the way home, right? Not with like oh haha,
because
what a clever movie, right? No, but
yeah, like, all those lines. Wonder Woman. Can you believe it?
Yeah, like. How did
all
they
those
get
times that something happened and Chris Evans was like, "What? That thing happened?"
Mm-hmm.
No. He's like, "Hey, that thing happened. What's going on over here?"
Yeah,
that's how he said it. That is how he said it.
No, he said. I feel like his lines were like, and I want to kind of get this right. It was like, what? You know, like that would be, he would, like a big Frosty the Snowman would walk in and he'd go, huh? And then, yeah, that would be the whole thing.
Guys in the listeners, you can't see Nando is doing the face when he does that, and it's perfect.
Yeah, you know what it was?
Exact.
It's lines like that, and it's lines like, that's gross. You know, he had a lot of those where like a guy would show up with like a big skeleton or something, and yeah, it's just so boring. And yeah, we'll talk about it when we get into like character stuff, but I do think there's so many actors that can do this better, or not like even better, but just in a more interesting way, especially in a post Knives Out world.
Yeah, it's weird because like this movie puts some thought into like Nando, you said, like the logistics of Santa. It's like, oh well, if Santa were a thing, of course he would have to be like in direct contact with the U.S. Air Force, right? Like that kind of makes sense. And like, no,
military. Salute the troops.
I mean, yeah. First of all, they were saluting the troops, which I hate. Second of all, I don't want to say they put too much thought into it. They put too little imagination into it.
Sure,
it's all just like, we do tech stuff and we've got a big jet sleigh that goes fast. I like, if you're gonna do like, it's Santa. I don't like when people do Santa and it's all just like technology and like wormholes and shit.
Hey,
I like when there's a magic. I like when there's a little bit of whimsy in it. Even if you treat the magic like technology, that honestly, that becomes funnier to me.
Yeah, look, Diggins, the reindeer, they ran on a Bifrost, so I don't know what more you wanted.
That's true. They did have their own little Bifrost.
A little Bifrost.
They were also big.
They big also.
Yeah.
But no, like this movie is very bad. I think a big crime that this movie commits is like, so we'll talk about it, but the Rock is a, not only is he like a charisma void, but his character is this kind of like beaten down retired cop, like, I've seen too much shit, boss. And like the Rock in that role just sucks. Like, he's just bad. He can't do that role well. Like,
he's just so humorless.
Yeah, it's just awful. Like, he can't be retired or like literally cop on his last day in this fucking movie. One last job. But juxtapose that to, you know, a Moana, which comes out this week, where at least he's like a cocky huckster god who, you know, says goofy shit and, you know, is like, hang time, right? Like, and at least
Tweets.
That's something, right?
Tweets, you know, that's what it's when you write a word like with the bird.
It's
yeah.
Do you think that he's gonna do it with like a fucking, what starts with a ski? And he's like, when you write with a ski,
yeah,
like it's called skeeting.
It's called a skeet.
And look, like, that shit is stupid, but like at least it's entertainment, right? Like, and The Rock is good at that. I think he is good at doing that.
100%. I think Rock's performance as Maui in Moana, way better than this.
Well, this is horrible. It's like bottom of the basement Rock, and I just can't figure out why he keeps fucking doing this. Like, it's,
because he's late set. He can't figure out what to do.
Yeah. And now that's his quote.
$50 million
so bad
to pee in all those bottles, TJ.
Come
on.
As Santa Claus himself told us, you know, that's his quote. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. Where was Detective Crashmore? Yeah.
You should have put Biff Whiff in there. You should have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $50 million, which, by the way, is anywhere from 1/4 to 1/5 of the entire budget of this movie.
It's just so stupid.
For The Rock.
But, you know, he took it very seriously, and he was easy to work with. Everyone loved him, right? Like, that's the craziest part to me. Get $50 million for notoriously awful thing.
A studio PR person said that's not true, so that means we can't definitively say if that's true or not.
Oh, it's good to know then that it's not true. No, I mean, it's not true because the studio PR person said it. You know, what evidence do we have that The Rock pees in bottles besides that Instagram video where he's like, "This is my pee bottle, you guys," from 2017. You know?
Or that interview he did like a week ago where someone's like, pee in bottles on set, and he's like, "Yes, I do that."
Yeah, obviously. I'm gonna lean into it at this point. I'm not gonna deny it. Two more things I have, just points that kind of were grading on me in this movie. One, I don't like when the movie gives me glimpses of like what could have been awesome, but then just like abandons them. So I will probably talk about this, but The Rock is Ant-Man in this movie. He's just Ant-Man.
Inexplicable.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're getting at. Yeah.
And part of his Ant-Manning is like he makes like, and this is the trailer, right? He makes the toy car a real car. Like, whoa. And the Rock'em Sock'em robots, he makes them big, which, like, a slight nitpick, you can't buy them individually. They come as the set in the boxing ring. You can't just buy a prepackaged Rock'em Sock'em robot. But, like, and then they're big, and then they're fighting and helping. Like, I really like that stuff, and I just don't know why it, like, wasn't here. Like, I guess they couldn't afford it at some point, but, like, you know, there's this whole thing where they kit up in the beginning of the movie and get all these toys and use fucking none of them, like the robots, and that's it. Like,
excuse you, they do a car, a robot, and a
fucking chicken,
and nothing else.
Oh yeah, the chicken.
It buys a whole Monopoly set. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the Monopoly pieces to be something, and that's just whatever, right?
Yeah. It's like if you watched a James Bond movie and fucking Q shows up and it's like, here's your pen that's a laser beam, James Bond, and here's your car that like shoots oil out of its asshole, and here's a fucking gun that actually shoots backwards. And then he only uses the pen and then nothing else in the rest of the movie. And you're like, well, why do we have the Q scene then?
Now that I'm thinking about it, how did they not do a bit where like fucking they went to first of all, that's the first mistake. They just go buy all the shit at a toy store instead of like get it from somewhere, but like get a Monopoly.
Right.
And then they're making an escape and he's like, get the car. And Chris Evans goes through it. There's no car in here. What do you mean? I guess they lost it. Well, what do they have? And then cut to them like sliding down a mountain in a thimble or something. Cause that would be like kind of fun, you know?
Yeah,
that would be fun.
None of that actual cool shit. And then the other thing, which is just such an annoying trait of this movie, because Chris Evans is learning about this whole world, but anytime he's like a little curious, The Rock is like, "Shut the fuck up, idiot!"
Yeah,
like,
The Rock doesn't want to have time to explain.
They're going through the supply closets. He's like, "The supply closets connect the whole interplanetary toy network, fuckhead." And Chris Evans is like, "Okay, it's my first day, man. What's going on?" Also. Okay, go ahead, Diggins.
I was gonna say my favorite one of those is the like reality adjuster, he calls it.
Yeah,
like I turned it into a real car. And Chris Evans is like I have a million questions. The Rock's like, shut the fuck up. I'm not explaining shit about how this works.
Yeah.
Fuck your whimsy. I'm just mad now.
Well, and also The Rock's like, it doesn't work with Wonder Woman's. Why? Why won't it at least make a big doll then? What happens here? Like, maybe all he wants is a big sex doll. Maybe he doesn't want a real person, you know?
Honestly, with how big a piece of shit Chris Evans is at the start of the movie, I think a receptacle for which he does not have to have any emotional labor is probably ideal for him.
That's true.
I swear to God, I might have Mandela effect this into my brain, but I thought there was a trailer when like Chris Evans is like, "Oh, can I use that thing?" And The Rock is like, "You can't ask any questions, you can't do this, and you can't use it on your dick." Like, I don't think
that's definitely never been in the movie.
Oh man, that would
like
be funny.
In my head, I'm like, Chris Evans wanted to use that on his dick.
It's a PG-13 movie, DJ. That was definitely never in there.
Well, that's why. Like, we wanted to put that in the trailers. They're not going to use this. Yeah,
just like my Joker crotch shot scene. But yeah, I hated this movie, but it was a good experience. So at least my cousin and I, Matthew, when we drove home, we were like, "Wow, that was some fucking shit." And I got some good nitpicks from him too, which I was very happy about. Yeah. So my list is good. Also, just anecdotally,
feast for the H's.
My theater was like fucking packed, and I could not believe it.
The people who should have been in my theater were in yours, I guess.
Well, I went on a Saturday night, and I guess you ain't got shit better to do. I don't know. Were people so appalled
by Monday afternoon? To be fair,
yeah, we're so people appalled by the Tyson Paul fight that it's like, all right, I guess I must go outside now for my denizen because I watched that shit.
Nobody will see the Tyson Paul fight besides you, DJ. Come on.
60 million people, Diggins. 60 million worldwide. Netflix never released the numbers, and they did for this. Why? Maybe because they're lying? Never.
I was going to say, I don't trust anything Netflix ever says.
60 million, Diggins. That's like half the Super Bowl audience. 60 million.
What's that phrase? Was it 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong? I like that. It's like, we got 60 million people to watch our thing. Did any of them like it? No, they hated it. It either didn't work for them or they were bored when it did. Okay.
Or they saw Mike Tyson's ass, which honestly for me and the people I was watching with was just a fucking tour de force. That was
Why
beautiful.
did you see his butt in it? Because I saw pictures, but I didn't watch it. How did that happen?
Oh, it was part of the special rules because he's old. They had to box butt naked.
Oh, nice. Like Beowulf.
So this was this was actually like, so there's like a conspiracy theory that this was like done to like drum up interest on the internet right before the fight started. But so Mike Tyson is doing a pre-fight interview, which is very typical, not wearing a shirt, but only
pre-fight interviews are done to drum up fights for drum up interest for the fights. That's not a conspiracy theory at all.
Okay. Well, the shot is from the waist up, and he's interviewing his son. It actually was like a very like touching moment, and he's talking about, it's like, do you feel good? Da, da, da. It's like, okay. It's like, well, like, best of luck. You know, hope you do great. And then they hug, and then they turn around. Mike Tyson is bare ass, and the camera does like a down zoom out, so you get all of the ass. It was a really, if you watch the whole shot, like the whole 5-second shot, it's really weird. It's like they almost try to focus in to give you more ass. It was very weird.
So be very clear about what happened here, DJ.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson did a whole like touching emotional interview with his son, buck ass naked.
I think he was wearing just his jockstrap. Because like he was at the cuff.
Oh, that's way
front,
better.
So.
Yeah.
So, that's sad. I don't want to say that was the best part of the night, because the women's fight between Serrano and Katie before was actually an all-time boxing match, and for the Women's World Championship, which was amazing. All thanks to Jake Paul, by the way. The announcers had to give by like, we wouldn't have this if it weren't for Jake Paul. So give it up to Jake Paul for putting these women on this stage.
I will never give it up for Jake Paul.
No one should. He's terrible, and he's not a real fucking boxer. Stop saying he's a boxer. He fights washed up people or people who can't box. The one time he fought a pro boxer, he lost.
Who did he fight?
Jesus Christ. Tyson Fury's little brother, Tommy Fury, who was an unranked professional boxer who he lost to split decision. No, of course. God, I hate him so much. He's not a fucking boxer.
He's not.
Jake,
you know who could have beat him in this? Every single man. They're all humongous muscle men in this movie, so any of them would have
killed him. J.K. Simmons would kill Jake Paul.
Done. Chris Evans, done. Rock, done. Guy from Game of Thrones, done. Like, the kid probably could beat him too, but I can't think of another man in this movie. So
the women might have been able to beat him too, you know.
Nick Kroll, maybe? I don't know. And Nick Kroll might have had trouble.
And the mom. I think the mom could have beat him.
Bonnie Hunt, yeah. Oh, Lucy Liu definitely could have.
Bonnie Hunt is Mrs. Claus. Do you mean?
Sorry.
Liv?
I do.
Oh, yeah. Who was the mom? I can't remember.
I mean, is
like
she
a famous
anyone?
person, right? I don't know. Whatever. It's probably not. Oh no, yeah. She's from Always Sunny. She's a waitress.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But all right. Well, speaking of that, I'm gonna summarize the movie, you guys. So we're gonna go right because the wheel is still on the lamb. So it is my duty as the guy who lost, even though he knew so many good Santas and would have been able to even guess more because he remembered some other ones that Diggins didn't even remember, and pretty good.
Is there any way to prove that? Probably not.
Yeah, that's true. I have to summarize this movie. Red 1. And then during it, because the wheel is gone, because it is on the lamb or was stolen by Ice Witch or whatever. It's in a globe. It got globed. So, that's not good.
So it's how the wheel learns to be a better person. It's gone.
Yeah. We have to pepper in our nitpicks as they come. So that is up to you guys both. And I'm sure we'll have plenty. So I'm going to go for it. The movie starts. Santa Claus is not in the beginning. The beginning is the kid. It's, I guess, young Chris Evans or some shit. And he's a kid, right? Because he's a little shifty kid who's figured out, where the presents are and stuff. And he's, did that thing that kids do in movies where they disprove the existence of Santa Claus and stuff to their friends.
And then talk like an adult who has never talked to a kid in their entire life.
Yeah, exactly. And this kid that they cast as Chris Evans looks very nothing like Chris Evans. Also not Bostonian kid. He should be Bill Burr. They should all sound like Bill Burr, but whatever. Because that is the most dirtbaggy quality of his.
But then Chris Evans lives in Philly later.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. They let you leave Boston. Yeah. There's a bridge. It's expensive because they're like, you sure you're ready to go? And then
if you're white, they let you leave. Otherwise, you gotta leave.
That's true. You get Wahlberged out. Did you see his building burned to the ground or something?
No.
Mark.
What do you mean his
Yeah,
building?
he had it.
He's probably owns multiple.
Sorry, his restaurant. He opened a new restaurant in Vegas like last week or 2 weeks ago, and it burned to the ground on its first day. And no one in Boston, and no one in Boston has ever thought about why. So it's pretty good. It wasn't a Wahlburgers. Was not a.
Something
it was
different?
something else. Yeah, he's like a I don't know, like Tex-Mex or something. So it was just really bad. I don't know.
It was Wall Burritos.
Oh, that's like a good name for it. I'm gonna look this up. This should have been the news. I knew I was forgetting something.
Something critically important.
This is the premier podcast for Mark Wahlberg news. Mark Wahlberg, everything ever happens with Mark Wahlberg, we have to cover it.
It strangely is, much to my no, I think I'm happy about it. I don't know. I can't decide.
Yeah.
I mean, as Nando said, we really have an opinion on Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm. And he's only proving it more and more these days. But the restaurant was called Flecha Cantina. It's a Mexican eatery. So there's actually one of these in California, in Huntington Beach. It's got 4.0 stars on Google, so that's not great. But I guess he was opening one up in...
4.0 is not great?
If you have less than like 4.8, that means you're complete garbage.
Yeah, I
really
say
a
4.5 for a restaurant owned by a celebrity is like the minimum I'm going to give for a Mark Wahlberg. Like if it's like sushi and it's late night, I'll take a 4.0, sure. But like if I'm gonna go to a place and be like, oh yeah, this is Mark Wahlberg's place, and it's a 4. Plus he's rich, right? So a lot of those reviews probably bots or something. So you gotta imagine, or maybe the wokes are out to get him. I don't know. Anyway, Flecha apparently in Spanish means arrow, so that can't be what it's called, right? It can't be called Arrow Cantina. Maybe it is. I don't know.
It's like fancy.
Sorry, what's the word?
Flecha, Flecha. Oh, there's a big arrow in the logo too.
Yeah.
I used to be like the fletching on an arrow, right? That's a word.
Yeah, similar etymology. Yes.
I guess I'm just wondering, like, why that for instead of wall burritos, like we were saying, or wall chiladas or whatever. There's a lot of good options. Anyway, Mark Wahlberg. Speaking of places being on fire in a suspicious way. We cut to older Chris Evans, and he's an old adult now. He's Chris Evans' age. And he's a cool guy walking around going like this and like not even giving a shit.
Nando's like bopping his head and moving his shoulders side to side. And it's like,
this
I'm
guy,
so cool.
And
he's in charge.
Music that was in the rejected bin for an Ocean's 11 movies playing.
Yeah.
What did it sound like, Diggins? What did that music sound like?
You expect me to remember?
I just, I get what you're saying. It's like,
yeah. This is some sort of fucking. It's like a heist scene, but it's not. Basically, the scene. Chris Evans is a guy, so what we're gonna learn is he's gonna break into the seismic monitoring lab because he has to. He's been told by Nick Kroll. We'll find out to get some data, and we'll find out that it's data on Santa, but he doesn't know that. He just goes in, steals whatever, and then leaves. His plan to get in, because this place has one security guy, and then also he needs an ID to do it, is he sets a small fire near some people doing yoga outside or whatever. And then they go check on the fire. He steals one of their IDs and runs inside. Pretty stupid plan. He's the world's greatest tracker, everybody.
That's true.
Like all of this stuff, setting the fire, stealing the fire extinguisher so that people like don't put it out, all that stuff he does in broad daylight, like completely out in the open. People, like 100 people have to have seen him do this.
Yeah.
No, he's so quick. His hands are so fast. You can't even see it.
Can you imagine?
He takes that fire extinguisher and goes so fast.
He takes a fire extinguisher and then tosses it in a bush or something.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, is this for later? Is he going to use this to like knock out some guard as he's leaving? But it does. No, he just wanted them to not find it. So they couldn't put out this fire, as if once he's inside and already in the building, he has anything to worry about. Like, just get out of there, buddy. You're not, whatever. It's fine. No one's going to be like, show us your ID as you leave, sir.
Also, the whole time he's doing the like nonchalant, I'm walking like I belong here, so no one's ever going to question me walk, which he's doing while people are panicking about a fire.
Yep.
Like, it's the most suspicious way he could be acting.
Mm-hmm. And also,
like, wow,
he doesn't just start like a fire in a trash can. He burns down a gazebo, which is like a nice little gazebo. And but fuck you, I guess. Whatever. Also, the dogs know he did it, which is fun. There's like dogs that are barking at him, and he's like, "Shut up, dogs!" But that's pretty good.
They always know. They always know.
They do. And
except they don't, because when he lets them go, they don't attack him. They just run away. Because actually,
that's true.
Dogs are stupid.
Hey,
that's a good point.
How dare you?
Dogs are dumb.
Don't. You're just here for heat.
Wow.
Like, you're just here to like make a mess.
Dogs react to their handlers. If their handlers suspect somebody, then they start barking and acting up because they want their handlers to give them treats. They don't actually have any real skill at detecting things like this.
Wow.
Well, also, I think I
You're
forgot to mention.
That's actually science. They've done studies. It's actually true. Like bomb sniff or drug sniffing dogs don't really work. They just react to their handlers.
I don't believe you. I don't want to live in that world.
No.
Diggins.
There we go.
Those dogs are heroes and they have jobs.
They have jobs.
Very smart.
This is why cats are better than dogs. You're never gonna get a cat to be a cop.
Yes.
This is why DJ's watching too much Paw Patrol.
I was gonna say
they're all real.
There is one cat cop in Paw Patrol that briefly shows up. Yeah.
Is it the villain?
Well, so we're here. There is a evil version of the Paw Patrol that are all cats that are like the evil ones, and they all have the same Paw Patrol garbs. But there is the Cat Squad, who is like the Paw Patrol cat adjacent guys.
Man, they just really let their fucking hands off the wheel with this show. They're just like, good guy Cat Squad, bad guy Cat Squad, whatever. They won't know. They look identical too. But
the
yeah,
cat
there's
pack. Sorry, it's the cat pack.
So yeah, there's the cat pack, and then there's the kitten catastrophe crew. And they are like, I guess that's the troublesome ones. But you're right. Yeah, they look like they have little doppelgangers of the other ones.
Yep.
Way to go. Let me go Paw Patrol. I mean, hey, listen, I think I'd rather be watching. Well, I don't know if I'd rather be watching that. I know they made a movie of those kind of recently. That's probably
I don't think
as good as this.
From my sister took her children to see the Paw Patrol movie. And from what she's told me, you would absolutely not rather be watching the Paw Patrol movie than this one.
That's fair. I do feel like
Paw Patrol's pretty grating. It's very grating. It's just like,
I think
Paw Patrol, go, Paw Patrol, go. It's very one note.
So I think I could enjoy one Paw Patrol. Like, I think I could mostly nitpicking watch a Paw Patrol movie out of context and have a good time. But I'm sure for someone who has seen a lot of Paw Patrol, it's probably very annoying. But anyway, yeah. So Chris Evans steals the date, also steals candy from a baby. Ha 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 ha.
Get it?
Get it?
Does everyone get it?
He's like,
tell me, because I don't.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. It's pretty. This is very like complicated stuff. But he's not a good guy. He's unscrupulous, so he will steal candy, even from a child. Even though he'll also steal like documents and state secrets or whatever he's going for. So, and he doesn't even ask even a question. Kind of. We'll find out later. He's like, I don't know. Whatever. You tell me to steal it, I'll steal it. He probably stole people. Like, I feel like he's given away CIA assets at certain points.
Oh, he's gotten people
like,
killed. 100%.
Yeah. This guy is fucking evil. But anyway, so he manages to steal whatever this is. We don't like I said, we don't really get too much info on it, but he's a bad guy. Also, I think I forgot to say this. His dad is like Santa's real. Back in the day, he's like his dad. Uncle. By the way, his dad or uncle, yeah, his uncle is the guy from whatchamacallit. All that
the
stuff.
Good Place.
He's from a lot of different stuff. It's Mark Evans.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah, so he's in there. Then we cut to Santa. Santa is at the mall. He's a mall Santa, which should disqualify him. Except he's doing it for fun because he likes that kind of thing. Because he's a sicko.
Real Santa is cosplaying a mall Santa.
Yeah,
which is so interesting.
And he seems to do this a lot, or like, I don't know, the mall has like a relationship with him where they're like happy to see him and stuff.
Yeah, they know he's real Santa. Even though he looks like the most fake real Santa ever, or whatever. Like, he does not look like a Santa in any way.
The beard's too short.
Beard's too short. He has no weight. Like,
it's not jolly.
Yeah. He's what's his name? The Rock, Caleb Drift, I think we decided his name was.
Callum. His name is Callum somehow.
Callum.
Fucking Callum.
He is working as the handler for this engagement, and he's like kind of playing like a bouncer, checking cookies and bouncing influencers, because there's influencers for a second or something. I don't remember what the fuck was going on.
That was
very
strange.
Yeah, and
there's nothing going on with it. It's just a weird joke that they do.
They thought it was pretty cool. Good for them. So yeah, Santa Claus will learn. He's basically a division branch of the U.S. military, and he keeps his like reindeer in a hangar and stuff, and just goes and gets them and flies home. And that's pretty much it. Chris Evans, like a master tracker, whatever, not really doing too much. Santa gets home. Okay, so Santa, he works at Avengers Tower or some shit. It's like a big spindly building. And what we're gonna learn, besides that Mrs. Claus is part of it, is that Santa doesn't The Rock is kind of done with this Santa thing. He's about to retire, partially because he's just very, very old. Like, I think he says he's like 200 years old or something at certain points.
More than that. He's much older than that, because he suggests that Santa should have a young 300-year-old in this job instead of.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like Santa might have started out around like the 1300s or some shit. Like,
I bet they said 900 years ago.
900. Okay, sure.
Yeah. So right around then. Yeah. That's like
they specifically call him Saint Nicholas of Myra. So let me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, didn't Christmas Chronicles do this, where we went to the actual time where he's from? Like, they went to like the town.
Yeah, he was also Saint Nicholas, like the actual.
Yeah.
I say historical. I'm not sure Saint Nicholas ever existed.
Diggins, how dare you? Saint Nicholas.
How dare you? Yeah.
There are definitely saints.
Big muscly guy.
There are saints that existed, and there are saints that did not exist.
Right. Yeah. Save that heathen talk for your other podcast, sir.
Mm-hmm. Heathen Talk.
Good.
His next podcast, Heathen Talk Tua. It's a spin-off of Talk Tua, where she gets herself canceled by all the people she listens to, probably. But anyway, Santa. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Okay, so Rock is going to quit being Santa. Santa's whatever, helper, main guy, because he no longer believes in the goodness of man. There's just too many people on the naughty list, and
you know what?
It's
That's
growing
more than
more
ever.
and more every
That's
year.
something Callum Drift and I have in common, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this the first year, whatever, where there's more naughty listers than nice listers?
Yeah, something like that. And
there's a 22% year-over-year growth in the naughty list.
That's what it was.
I think
humongous.
they say both of those things, actually.
Yeah, that's so much.
Yeah.
They could blame so many things on the 22%
year-over-year growth is. I'm a business monster who knows what those words mean.
Well, you got monsters like Jack, what's his face out there, just ruining everything.
Who?
I have no idea what you're saying.
Jack Frost from Santa Claus 3?
No.
Oh, Jack O'Connell or whatever his name is. Yeah, or O'Donnell.
What the fuck, whatever the fuck his name is. Sure.
O'Malley.
Yeah, he's
that's the thing. That's
everything.
why I'm like, this guy's from Boston, because he has an Irish last name, but I guess maybe he's not.
Just like how you and I are from Boston, Nando.
We are. Yeah. We got out and we, classed it up a little bit. And every so often, Ben Affleck shows up at my door, beckons me back, but I throw the thing at him that Bostonians all hate. That is the like salt for a snail. What would that work for Boston? What would that be?
Manners.
Starbucks. Manners. Yeah.
I was also thinking Starbucks because it's not Dunkin'.
Because it's not Dunkin'. Yeah, we know they love Dunkin'. But anyway, yeah. So Calum is gonna quit. And he hands Santa his like letter of recommendation. And Santa's basically like, all right,
resignation,
we'll do one.
but it's fine.
What did it say?
You said letter of recommendation, which I'm
yeah.
Oh wait,
recommends he resigns.
Who should replace Callum Drift? Like who should be the next guy?
I guess the polar bear. I don't know. He's the only other
yeah,
guy
he
that we
should be
really
good.
spend
Yeah,
any
yeah,
time
yeah.
with. Yeah,
He's the only other member of Santa's team, that we don't like spend more than 10 seconds with. So I guess it would have to be Garcia, a name that doesn't really feel like it makes sense for a polar bear. Not a lot of polar bears in Hispanic or Spanish-speaking countries, but whatever.
That's fine, right? Probably totally fine.
It's it's great, and I think the polar bear looks cool. It's I mean, listen,
I agree,
because I was a little like
the polar bear endorses police brutality, so I can't in good conscience say nice things about him.
But it's Santa, so
it's true. Salute our Santa. But I was gonna say there are elves in this world, and they're like weird looking, but not in a cool way. They're just kind of there. Remember these guys? Mm-hmm. They look like little All Real Monsters guys or something.
Yeah, they look like the little red guy from All Real Monsters. You're right.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, so The Rock is like fondly being like,
trolls,
"Oh man,"
which are even worse.
Oh, what a fucking joke! Remember that joke? Oh, the trolls are on it. Oh guys, I think we found them. I think it's hiding under that.
Forgot about the trolls.
I mean, I guess we'll get to it when Nando gets to that scene. But yeah, fucking trolls. What a joke I could not place.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, okay, so anyway, so Caleb Drift is like, I'm gonna quit, and then Santa's like, we'll do one more last one with me because it's already pretty much Christmas. I guess I don't know.
It's like
doesn't really look like it in Philadelphia, but I think, sure.
It might even be the 24th because it's like one day till Santa's gotta go.
Yeah, so I think that implies it's the 23rd because like 24th is when it happens, right?
Yeah.
And
they take Boxing Day off though. Remember that joke?
They do take Boxing Day off.
So funny.
Yeah,
I'll admit that the setup of it did get me a little bit. I was like, that's funny.
All right.
Now that I think about it, wait, okay, so in Philadelphia, it's like warm enough to do outside yoga the day before Christmas.
It's climate change, Nando.
Yeah, climate change. No, that makes sense.
We're not nitpicking that, are we? No, that's totally real.
No. I
guess.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be in a world with Santa Claus. He should deal with it. Now
that I'm thinking about it, Santa is in Philly in the mall. That's not necessarily where Chris Evans is.
That's why I do think he's probably in Boston. He was probably stealing from MIT or something. Right? Like
Boston, where it would be even warmer than Philly during December.
Yeah. They're all, I don't know. The movie's stupid. Also, there's something about the Boston thing I think is weird. When assuming it's Boston, when he goes to steal the thing from the, when he like, does a bazillion things in a row and it's really two, to set the fire and stuff. There's also a bit where he's like scoping out a hot yoga chick. And for me, I'm like, oh, is he going to like try to flirt with her or something? Use the fact that he's Chris Evans to like, but no, nothing. Just completely purposeless. Well,
I think,
and this is another one of those fun movies.
I think she's the one whose ID he steals.
Oh yeah, no, he does steal her ID, but I guess part of me was like, is this guy also going to be like, that? Are we going to hit all the scumbag like quadrants? And while he does make a couple of like very minor lines like that, he doesn't really seem like he's into it. But it almost seems like The Rock's sexlessity has like kind of created an aura that eventually envelops Chris Evans in this movie. Because this is another one of those fun, sexless The Rock performances. Which I guess what would he be doing? I guess him and Lucy Liu could have a thing. Whatever. But anyway, Santa's kidnapped or something. I don't know how he finds out. I think he's just like, oh yeah, there's like blackouts or something. And he's like, the Avengers Tower is under attack. From somebody, find me Red One. And they're like, we don't know where he is, even though he like just saw him. But we also see that somebody is breaking into like the magical force field or whatever that protects this place because there seems to be like a Wakanda dome of security around it.
Yeah, it's the dome, much like the Stephen King adaptation Under the Dome.
That's right. That's probably where I got it.
I want to say it's called like The Shimmer, but that's definitely because I've been watching too much Arcane.
Definitely not.
The Shimmer is the thing from Annihilation.
It is in Arcane as well.
It's also in Arcane.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Well, Shimmer in Arcane is a drug. I do think,
fair,
yeah.
But
the Shimmer as like a phenomenon that hangs in the air in a fixed location is in Annihilation.
Yeah. Either way, it's still Wakanda Dome. Because it
Yeah.
both cloaks the place and also provides some sort of security. But they've broken through it. We'll find out. And they have like these weird snowmobile car shit things. And The Rock kind of finds them, and he's like, "We gotta catch Red One." Takes a little jet or snowmobile out of his pocket and uses his little embiggening ray to turn it into a real snowmobile and rides that. He has a little daring chase. Slides down some fucking slides that are water slides for toys, I guess, or something. I don't know. It's
like mail tubes or some shit. I don't know.
Mail
like mail ramps
out of those.
Tubes.
It really has though. It's just a water slide though. There's no like top.
Yeah, right.
It's for this. This is why it's been built. Eventually, Santa will be stolen, and The Rock will need to do some stuff. So The Rock eventually finds the thing, catches the snowmobile, and turns out it was a trap. That wasn't actually the real snowmobile that had Santa in it. In fact, he's on a plane or something, and he's been stolen. So they got Red One. This is a big deal. Lucy Liu, we'll learn, is in charge of something. I really don't know. What is Lucy Liu's job in this?
Mora. Wait, the mythical organization.
Mythological.
Right. Yeah.
Hold on, I have it up here. I don't remember it offhand.
It was stupid, whatever it was.
Mythological Oversight and Restoration Authority.
Boo, what are they restoring?
Guys, I racked my brains on this one. I thought about it long and hard. What could the pun or joke about this name possibly be? And I've got nothing.
Yeah. Mora.
Like they just slammed 4 letters together.
But like 4 letters that don't make anything that's clever, and also the acronym that it ends up being doesn't really make sense. Like maybe there is a thing called Mora that's out there somewhere, and that's just the explanation. It's like this is the real one.
So it's the most inside joke ever.
Yeah, we got a real mythological department
Spanish
of guys.
for blackberry.
Okay, guess that's something.
Yeah. Is it supposed to be like NORAD? No, because that's not even the same.
I was wondering that too, but that like feels off, right? It feels off.
It's weird too because The Rock doesn't like work for her. This is one of those movies where there's like a bunch of different like it's like that Rise of the Guardians movie where you could assume there's an Easter bunny and stuff. We never see any of the other ones besides Krampus, I guess. But like
we see the Headless Horseman.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do see the Headless Horseman, which like kind of technically, I don't know. I guess counts, but it doesn't seem like he's in the same class as Santa Claus.
I do like what that line she says. We're questioning all the usual suspects. Yeah, all the people who usually kidnap Santa, including the Headless Horseman, just riding up to the North Pole, kidnapping Santa.
And I gotta say, when we find out who it is, she seems like she would be the most usual suspect. Apparently, they didn't even think about it.
That's true. And even if it's not her, it's the other guy, right? Her accomplice, kind of. It's one of them, but
their incompetence is just
Horseman.
Incredible.
This
they're
feels
always
like
fucking shocked.
It feels like the cops, the Mora cops were like giving like a little APB, go out, find the bad guy. Bad guy stole Santa, and they just arrested the Headless Horseman. And the Headless Horseman was in the back of the squad car, like, what the fuck did I even do? You can't arrest me. You don't have any cause.
Yeah,
like,
we're honestly,
suspicious figures.
That would be the most realistic thing in the movie. If that's what happened.
I think that's what happened. Yeah. But yeah. So they have to find Santa. They can't. It's hard. They know that the thing. I think this is where they figure out that like the thing that Chris Evans stole is part of this, so they have to get to him, and he is a legendary tracker, like we said. So like is he number 1 on the most wanted list or something like that? I think they throw shit like that out.
He says he's not on any wanted lists.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because he erases himself. Yeah. Right, and
he found the coordinates to Santa with the seismic thing because he's a smart boy, and he gave up those coordinates because he's the smartest boy.
Yeah, if it wasn't Santa Claus, he's giving away what, like secret nukes or something? Like, what does he think this is?
Yeah, right.
I think he doesn't care. I think it's very clear later where he's like, people ask me for things and I give it to them, and I couldn't give less of a shit what any of that means or what happens with it afterwards.
He don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's true.
He's gonna get us all killed. And his son, who we learn exists. So he has a son. Son looks nothing like him or his mom. But whatever.
Adopted.
I don't know where they got this kid.
They
adopted.
couldn't. What? Wait,
he's adopted?
DJ,
yeah, I don't think
you're
so.
Suggesting That the mother, who is married to another man who is not Chris Evans,
Nope.
adopted a child and involves Chris Evans, a man who is not related, nor, as Chris Evans makes clear later, ever even really dated Chris Evans as a second father for this child, even though he doesn't want to and he's bad at it. This is the reality that you are suggesting.
Diggins, they had a one-night stand where they adopted a child mid one-night stand. And then afterwards, they were like, we shouldn't be adopting kids together. And then they split up. But they were like, we did adopt that child the other day, so we got to keep him. I do think, so like we said, the mom is played by the waitress, who has a name, it's Mary something, from Always Sunny. There's another check for Philadelphia. I have no idea where this movie takes place. Philiboston or something, some sort of fictional city that's
Philibostia.
Yeah, the
Mary
worst
Elizabeth
city.
Ellis.
Yes, Mary Elizabeth. That's right. And she's
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah. Has she ever been Santa?
I know. Another.
Her and Steven Seagal are probably on all these short lists, and it's like, nope, we went with J.K. Simmons this time. And they both go get a drink at a bar together. Like, never us. Always.
Well, they need someone who's fucking yoked. Someone who can get gains. We didn't really talk about this too much, but before Santa gets kidnapped, he has a little scene where he's talking with Callum, trying to convince him not to retire, and he's fucking pumping iron, man. He's fucking.
Oh my god!
Pushing, man. He's getting his mega gains. It's like, let's make it heavier, Cal. Let's do 8,000 pounds. I'm so strong. I'm Santa.
It's so embarrassing in a movie where violent.
It's weird. I
don't
like
exists.
it at all. Yeah.
Like, he isn't even the strongest looking Santa I've seen in the last 2 years in a movie.
I know.
And he doesn't have any other Santa-ly qualities that balance that out. Like, he's a big fat guy. He doesn't have the face of Santa.
Well, and not to jump to the end of the movie, but just to stay on this point, what we learn about the Santa is what makes him go so good at his job is he's like a ninja, because in this world, you're like, Santa's a ninja. That's how he gets it done. He's doing parkour on the rooftops and then just like going down the chimney, and also being Ant-Man, and like,
he's Ant-Man.
I
was gonna say,
you're Santa.
Everybody's Ant-Man.
So everyone's fucking Ant-Man.
And so Chris Evans has this kid, like we're saying. We'll learn eventually he's technically Chris Evans' kid, apparently, all recessive traits, but also he doesn't he's not in this kid's life really, but he does. If the mom calls him to pick the kid up from school, he'll do it. And the kid clearly kind of wants Chris Evans to be in his life, even though Chris Evans kind of thinks that him and the mom have an agreement that he's not, or the mom doesn't like him, and there is a dad. I don't think we ever see the dad. It's probably a mistake, right?
Stepdad.
Probably cast somebody.
There's no way, there's absolutely no way Chris Evans is involved in this kid's life unless he's the biological dad.
Yeah.
So, presumably a stepfather who really is, he's not the dad, he's the dad who stepped up,
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's not the stepdad, he's the dad who stepped up.
And the way that Chris Evans explains it, I think he's he's got a dad. He's a good guy. He got his shit together. So they don't really need me. And I'm like, that sounds correct. Why didn't he pick the kid up from school? Where's this guy?
She does say he is away for a family obligation or something. There is a reason why he can't do it that she gives.
Yeah, that's fair. And where's I going with this? Oh yeah. So that's the whole thing. It's does he want to be in the kid's life? The kid's like, you shouldn't even come to my stupid recital. And Chris Evans is like, yeah, recitals suck. And they're like, yeah, they do suck. And that's it, pretty much. The mom's kind of mad at him. Well, she's not really that mad at him, actually. She's kind of like, I don't know. She doesn't have any feelings towards him because that's how this movie goes. Everybody's just kind of there. It's weird because Ant-Man, he is not an absentee father, because there's no expectations on him. She's also not happy to see him. She's just that guy. I don't know if she knows he's the #1 hacker in all the world, though. I'm curious about that, because I think
she definitely doesn't, because every time where he's I'm busy, he's I have work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
right.
clearly doesn't want to tell her what he's actually doing.
Yeah. That's
I do think I do want to say in defense of this movie a little bit, or at least this little part of it that I did say I liked. I do think it is better than Ant-Man, where Paul Rudd is like a good dad who's involved in his kid's life, and like there's really no like thing he needs to learn or get better at. It's just literally like you need a job so that the mom will let you see the kid. Like, yeah, he's legitimately bad, like terrible with this kid, and doesn't want to be a dad. And it's like he's actually a bad person in a way that I enjoyed.
The kid's going through his day at school. It's like, I like changed the attendance record and I slashed my friend's tires. And I just, did all this bad shit because I was like, good job. And then you got too emotional. How dare you?
But caught.
Yeah, you got caught. That was the crime.
Don't let people get leverage on you, kid. Come on.
Yeah. Everything else super cool. Glad you did.
In my head too, it's like, why not just have him be the dad? Like, he's not like, he's an absentee father in that, right? But not like in a, like, he doesn't, show up to band camp. Just like, they're not, together. He sends money or something, but like, he's clearly doing his own thing. And also, he's probably like, listen, every world government wants my head, so you probably want some distance. Because
shit can get fucked real quick.
Yeah, like I said, I'm giving away probably nukes. So yeah. So, yeah, I don't understand why they don't do that. Besides the classic The Rock, like, this guy can't be that bad of a guy rule. Like, he's got to still technically have been an okay dad this whole time. And
yep.
That's great. That's just great. So he goes home and gets captured by a bunch of guys. And these are, what do we call them? Morad or Mora? Mora. God, I'm really racking my brain. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it all day, and I got nothing.
It's just a bunch of nonsense. That's all it is. It's a bunch of nonsense.
And Mora, we'll learn, is, like you said, like the Men in Black of this. And the Santa stuff seems to just be like a little corner of it. Although it's an important corner, obviously, because they've mobilized.
Obviously.
Like, I don't know if like the Easter Bunny's getting this kind of treatment if he gets stolen, and
no,
I don't even want to talk about other disparities.
His job.
Yeah, right. Like, everybody's just.
Besides, unlike Santa, who like most like Western Christian cultures have a Santa, or at least Santa-like figure. The Easter Bunny, it's a fucking crapshoot. You got the bunny here in America. You go to France, they got a giant flying bell.
They
it's
do?
True. Stuff.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you think that? I love a flying bell.
Now I think about it, we'll find out later that Krampus exists. Krampus is like kind of the, German or whatever, like Santa equivalent guy.
In the past like 10 years, everyone's like, "Oh, yeah. Krampus! Isn't that so funny?"
That's when this script was written, for sure. Like 10 years ago when they had this idea. But my question is, does that mean all those other really racist versions of that exist too? Does like Black Tom exist
I was gonna
somewhere?
Say,
do
the
they
little
have to...
Dutch blackface boy. Yeah.
Yeah. They got to worry about that guy. Or do they just kind of treat him like?
Yeah, it would have been really funny if at one point Chris Evans was like, I'm getting a hit in Amsterdam. Should we head that way? And The Rock's like, no.
Yeah.
We don't
we're
go
good.
there.
We're good.
Mm-hmm.
I promise we're good.
We don't talk to those guys, okay? They have their own division. It's their own business. We don't mess with any of it.
We respect all cultures.
Yeah. They succeed. They Brexited from the MOBA or whatever we're calling this, and they're just doing their own thing. Their Santa keeps getting stolen, but they don't really give a shit. But anyway, yeah. So they give Chris Evans. By the way, one thing that I think is worth pointing out here: they put him in a box, they unbox him, and then he's like in the middle of what you would assume is going to be what if you just like heard me describe this, the nerve center of this thing where all the shit is, man. Like in that scene in Men in Black where he walks into the room and it's all the aliens and all the things on the screens, and I'm like, wow, a fantastic world just beneath my nose. It's an aircraft carrier or an air. What do you call these?
Airport hangar.
Big airport hangar with a couple of screens and some stuff.
So dumb.
Just so boring.
All the money they were going to spend to make this look cool and visually interesting, they had to spend on waiting for Rock to piss in bottles.
And editing the bottles out of shots, probably, because
Yeah, actually, that was
I
the
did
problem.
not
They
see
wanted to
any
put
during
cool
my
stuff in
watch.
here, but instead they had to put up like blank bits of room to
Yeah.
cover up all the pee bottles that were just stored in this hangar.
Mm-hmm. And this is where we meet Lucy Liu for the first time, like in person. And she says that thing about the headless horseman. She basically tells Callum Drift, she's like, it's real, you're in trouble, whatever. You did something. I don't know if she says it's Santa or if The Rock shows up and he's like, they stole Santa Claus
No,
with your information.
she says,
Oh,
she's
she
like,
does.
St. Nicholas of Myra was kidnapped and blah,
Right.
blah. And he's like, well, now, wait a minute. Are
Yeah.
you telling me that Santa Claus got kidnapped?
And I'm right there with you, buddy.
The way Diggins is doing like the head turn, but like it is that ridiculous how like the movie loves to like have the audience be like 3 steps ahead of it. Like it happens a couple times later, but it's like,
Yeah.
you know, the beat like well before the movie decides to drop it. It's insane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like it's like the Krampus thing. It's like they've made several Krampus movies. Like everyone on Earth knows who that is. That is not a deep cut anymore. And yeah, this whole thing with the Santa thing is weird. Also because like, so he doesn't believe in Santa. This is another one of those fucking worlds where none of the Santa mythology makes any sense. Because the uncle does know that Santa physically exists, right? And he's trying to tell that to Chris Evans.
It's not clear to me if the uncle does know Santa exists or if he's just trying to be like, yeah, kid, yeah, we got presents up here, but there's a real Santa. You know, if he's just trying to preserve the magic.
But in this universe, there is a real Santa.
Yeah, he delivers gifts. Like, why does the uncle have gifts at all, right?
Shut
like,
the fuck up,
well,
that's why.
Hold on. I'm fine with the parents having some gifts and Santa having some gifts. That I think is cool.
All right.
But I'm more confused about, like, what does Chris Evans or this kid's mom, who I'm assuming he's talked about this with, think Santa Claus is? Do they think Santa Claus exists? Like, is this something that no one believes in? And then where do they think the presents come from? What's wrong with these idiots?
Right.
Like, it's just so confusing. And, like, I would be fine with them thinking Santa Claus is real or just, like, going, like, I never thought about it. And then Santa's like, yeah, it's like some magic or something we did. But, you know, now that you're in the special room and you've drank our liquid, you'll be able to see through all of our, you know, Christmas deception. But
see, this is the kind of thing where it's like, I'm always happier when stuff like this is magic, even if you sort of like treat the magic like technology. When you do it all technology, it's like, well, you hit a point where this doesn't make sense anymore. Magic, you can be like, yeah, you know, you don't think about it because of the magic we do. And it's like, well, I guess I can't argue with that.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, you can even do extra bullshit and it's like, oh, yeah, that's Christmas trees. They got a scent that is, you know, bred from one thing that makes everybody forget about the Santa Claus or something. Like, work other parts of the mythology into it. Or like, yeah, mom and dad's always eat the cookies that Santa laced with roofies that will make them forget that he exists or something. Yeah, Santa's not a good guy. Yoked Santa, you know, what do you expect? But
I do want to go back, real quick, back to, because little kid Chris Evans. I do think the opening with the little kid Chris Evans' movie is so weird because you expect it to be like, oh, we're going to see the moment when Chris Evans lost his faith in Christmas and why he's such a bad boy now. But he's, from moment one, a real shit kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also like, he's a tracker, right? So you figure this is going to be one of those movies where he's always tried to track Santa. He's always tried to catch Santa, but he can't do it. And now he doesn't believe Santa exists or something. And like,
maybe he's trying to find his long lost dad. That could be right.
Isn't it the clumsiest exposition that goes nowhere?
Right?
Yeah, that really does go nowhere.
To be fair, saying he had a missing dad is setting up an emotional thing that has thematic and emotional resonance. It doesn't have to be a plot thing.
No, but I was like, is The Rock his dad? I was confused about that. Is he part fairy as well or something? But whatever. So yeah, he's like, Chris Evans, you got to come help me because you're the greatest tracker that ever lived, and we got to track Santa. And also, you probably have more information than I do about that stuff that you stole and like where it went and stuff. So let's just use that. Chris Evans doesn't want to do it, but he has to. I don't remember how they get him to do it. Did they like pay
Lucy
him?
Liu offers to pay him.
Yeah, they do pay him. Okay. Yeah. Which is cool. Good for her. I mean, she's got money, you know, they make all the toys in the world. So why wouldn't they be able to just do this? Chris Evans, like we said, he doesn't want to do it, but he does it. it goes with the Rock to pick up some toys, which we've already kind of talked about. Now, so so we said Monopoly, Rock'em Sock'em Robots,
which you can't buy
Ducks.
individually. You can only buy them with the boxing ring, but whatever.
That's right. And then some Hot Wheels cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's other stuff, but I don't remember what it is.
A couple other things he picks up, but yeah, I don't recall what they were.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
What is this in the elf world? Why do they have this?
Well, it seems like the shrinking technology, it's how they shrink all the gifts and then they roll them out like dice under the trees and then make them all big, right?
Right, but why can they make a car that's a Hot Wheels into a real car?
Well,
they adjust its reality. Right, it's not just
Right.
Ant-Man making like big small, it's like you're actually adjusting the reality, right?
I guess that's fair. It feels weird to me that this is something The Rock knows how to do and stuff. And knows how to like give the robots sentience, even though like they would never do that with the toys. It's not like they build the toys big and make them small. It's just like, yeah, he kind of rewrites what they are in a like kind of Molecule Man sort of way, and they just are a different thing. But yeah, and like we said, he can't do it with Wonder Woman for some reason.
You can't. Those are the rules.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we also
you
learned
could do it, but she would be like a monstrous sort of brain dead clone sort of version with like covered in tumors and shit. It would be a nightmare.
I still think Chris Evans would tip his sunglasses down and go, all right.
Oh yeah,
and then
I like what I see.
Yeah. But okay, so him and The Rock also. So we learned that there's a network of wormholes or something connecting toy stores
around the world. The supply closets of toy stores around the world.
So this also blew my mind. So we will learn kind of, I guess, not only do elves make all the toys that they give away on Christmas, they also make all the toys on Earth.
I don't know that that's necessarily true.
Yeah, I think Hasbro's still doing it.
They're connected to the toy store. Like they can tap into the toy store like transportation network or whatever the hell they call it. But I don't think that necessarily means that they're supplying the toy stores.
Right.
Then why does the transportation network exist?
I guess it's easy to get around in a pinch on Christmas, I guess. I don't know.
Because of their deep spiritual connection to toys.
Yeah, I guess so. In my head, I'm like, oh, so they deliver all the toys because and it's not just the toy store; it's the storage closet of the toy store. So it's like instead of having, and that's the thing, instead of having a regular storage closet, does this place is this toy store run by elves?
They still have the toy closet. The Rock has to use a special key to turn it into the special network door.
It looks like you can only activate the teleportation feature with the special key.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Also, I don't think it's run by elves. They seem to be run by people, which actually makes what happens even funnier because, like, I feel like if you don't think about it at all and just sort of let it wash over you, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. But then if you think about it even a little, it falls apart. Where what happens is The Rock walks into a toy store, picks up a bunch of toys, goes back into a supply closet, appears in another toy store, and then walks out of that toy store. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, he just took the stuff and walked into a back room, so like he didn't need to do anything. But from this toy store's perspective, there's still a man just walking out with an armful of toys he hasn't paid for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, but they're like American toys, right? Like it's all in English and stuff, right? The toys in Aruba would be in
so they're like, this guy probably got these from somewhere else.
No, we're not helping him. What language do they speak in Aruba, DJ?
Oh man, all right, well, it's obviously not Aruban,
That's correct. It's not Aruban.
I'm gonna take a flyer and say Spanish.
Well, Spanish is listed under other languages here.
Oh, thank
so you're
God.
not 100% wrong.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That's great news. Is it like Portuguese or something?
It's Dutch.
Dutch?
I didn't know
Dutch?
that. I thought the answer was going to be English or something.
Aruba is not a country. It is part of the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean like,
it's like a...
They stole it
what do you call
from everybody. Like,
it's one of those things like fucking Bermuda, where it's like,
right.
Okay.
we operate independently, but we're still technically part of the British state.
It's not off of the coast of the Netherlands.
Well, no, it's a Caribbean island, but it never achieved independence. It's still part of the Dutch state.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so that's what happens.
Worse. It's not too bad.
You definitely could have done worse. I was expecting. I also would have gotten wrong. So
I don't feel like you deserve credit for guessing Spanish in a Caribbean country when that's not the answer.
I mean, I don't know.
Especially when all the characters in the movie speak English. I think when they're there.
Yeah, so, but also they're in a resort, Nando. None of these people are from.
That's
Aruba.
True. They are in a resort. Yeah. So the point you were trying to make, though, Dickens, is that, or what DJ was trying to say, I think, is that the people at the Aruban
toy store like,
look at their Monopoly and go, toys, that doesn't say Ducinopoly or whatever, and then they go, they probably brought that in. That must be theirs. They look at their like Rock'em Sock'em robots and go like, in our place they're green and silver, so that must be different guys.
Although again, this is like a resort town toy store.
That's true.
Is all in English.
Yeah,
no, I guess so.
But yeah, so they go to Aruba in a fancy car, and The Rock's like, don't get something so conspicuous. And like, it's like, you fucking made it big in the middle of the fucking street, dude. Like,
and nobody looks.
Pretty conspicuous.
Yeah. There are people on camera when he does this, and they don't even turn around.
But whatever.
So
and also,
true.
The Rock doesn't have a civilian disguise for this mission either. He dresses in all his stupid bullshit. Like, he has this humongous leather outfit, including a sleeveless red and green like top, and then like red and green pants. And he's supposed to kind of be undercover, right? This isn't a world where these guys are around.
I will say his costume is so unwhimsical that I didn't really ever register to me as like, this is nothing a regular person would wear. I'm like, I can imagine some weirdo bro wearing something like this.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's fair. And who did they? Well, we already talked about this, but they find a certain character in Aruba, Nick Kroll, you guys, from all that stuff.
Yep.
Being protected by the Carmanian death merchants, Nando.
Oh my god. Yeah. Which they have their branded tattoos on their hands, so that's how you know. You see a guy, that's a death merchant. They got their branded death merchant
and
tattoos.
Not just any death merchant, DJ, a Carmanian death merchant.
Carmanian death merchant. Diggins, am I dumb for not knowing where Carmania is?
Carmania is nothing, DJ. It's nonsense.
It's nothing. The movie just like, we're just making shit up, man.
Yeah.
This is all fucking bullshit.
It feels like it comes from a sillier movie than this one.
Yeah, it does. And one other thing that I think is kind of weird. One thing that really bugged me when I saw this. When Chris Evans and The Rock get to the resort, one of the things that happens is they walk by a hot lady in a bikini walks by them. And Chris Evans is like, I can stay here forever. This is pretty good to me. I think he probably also steals a drink or something from some tray. So like, he's having a great time. Chris Evans, you're Chris Evans. Hot bikini girl is not a crazy get for you. Like, I just don't understand this world where it posits he's like, wowie, finally. But I don't know. Maybe he's just so repugnant as a person, and maybe smells that
he's really poisoned the well back home. Everyone knows that he's a real piece of shit, so he needs to go to other places where there are hot women.
Yeah, that's fair. So we get an Ant-Man fight here that is probably better than like almost every fight in the Ant-Man series at doing Ant-Man stuff, where The Rock grows and shrinks and punches and all that stuff. Again, why does he have this ability? Who cares? I guess it makes sense for Santa to have, but I don't know what this guy's doing with it.
It sure is something. I will say that.
Yeah. And then they eventually talk to Nick Kroll. Nick Kroll is like, I know who I gave this stuff to, but I can't say it. And he is very specifically is like, well, if I say it, then she'll know who it is, like what's going on. And then I think Chris Evans comes up with this, like, just write it in the sand, which I thought was pretty clever. which he is able to do. And then Chris Evans immediately reads the word, which I thought was pretty funny. And this is, oh wait, I've already forgotten. There's also a bit where Kiernan Shipka, as like the Snow Queen, whatever, has put Santa Claus in a big blue green ball thingy prison, and she's draining his life force for something. That's really all I need.
She has an ominous cryptic conversation with Santa where she's like, I'm going to do what you failed to do for so many years, Santa. I'm going to make the world a better place. This isn't remotely the voice she does. I don't know what I'm doing.
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Because that's aspirational. It's like, I'm like a Bond villain, and I'm talking about how I'm going to be awesome.
Well, I mean, we know what she sounds like when another person says the words that she says. And it's what Nick Kroll's about to do.
Who wants to do their best impression?
I can't even remember what it is.
So this is how I remember it. I don't know if this is accurate, but essentially, so Grilla is speaking her evil words.
Grilla.
Grilla?
The thriller from Manila. Grilla.
Wait, but what is it?
It's
a Grilla. I like
Grilla.
Is this character a real thing, by the way? In like Christmas lore?
Actually, they say Gryla and Grilla at different points. They never say Grilla. Yes, she is an Icelandic folklore. She's an ogress, like they say. And she essentially it varies from like if you're telling a myth that is supposed to be told to children or not. But the base level form is she goes around from town to town and is like, bring me your naughty children so I can eat them.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, and I guess there are a bunch of those too. Like she aligning with Krampus makes sense.
She's also, if you've heard of the Yule lads in Icelandic folklore, she is their mother.
No. What are they?
Fun.
They're like Christmas tricksters who go around playing pranks on people around Christmas.
Do they have blackface or are they normal?
No. As far as I know, no blackface on the Yule lads.
Good. Very good.
That's a Dutch thing, not an Icelandic thing.
Yeah, you know what? They just kind of look like the little, whatchamacallums, little seven dwarves, kind of, if I had to describe them in some of the ways they're pictured here. We don't see much of them in this at all.
Is also involved in this somewhere, also eats children. A lot of eating children in Icelandic folklore.
No,
yeah, what's it? Those kids must have been awful.
That's what we got. Well, no, they were so hungry they had to like be like, "We're gonna eat these kids."
The dreadful arithmetic. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
it's you or the kid. I mean, you can make more kids. Kid's probably gonna die anyway.
It's a great point.
Well, anyway, Grilla is like speaking through Nick Kroll. And I assume that Nick Kroll was like told, like, you know, speak it, but there's going to be some like after effects. It'll be her voice through you. But like in most movies, it's like a possession and it's like, oh, well, you know, we're seeing his mouth move, but it's her words. But this is what we get instead. It's like, you all will perish for trying to stop me. I am going to prove once and for all that the naughty are doomed to be ruined by society. You are all fools for trying to stop me.
And I think this joke would have been so funny if they like did the Kiernan Shipka like talking at first for like the first couple sentences, and then we cut back to Nick Kroll going like, "I am going to kill all of the naughty people," and like that was it, and it didn't go on for another like 3 fucking minutes.
Yeah. He's also like doing a weird like kind of forward limbo thingy while he's doing it. It's
well, weird. He's like being hung by a little like suspension cable, so it's like he's like forward, but like it's so weird because like he's doing his best clearly, but like I can't imagine that he thought like what he did was going to be shown on the screen. That it's like, oh, they're going to use something After Effects, or this isn't what it's going to be.
But yeah, no, like but. It goes on for 3 more minutes, and they cut back and forth between Kiernan Shipka and him like 5 more times, and it just completely kills the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awful, 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 awful.
But then, okay, so she sends snowmen. Now, they come from the sea in an ice cream truck. It just drives onto the beach, and they're like, hey, it's us snowmen. And people do react to this. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Do either of you guys want to describe the snowmen to people that haven't seen the trailer or this movie?
Oh my God, it's so weird. So it's like they're like these like trolls made of snow, but they have like nice little top hats and the carrots and like, you know, all the typical fixins.
Oh, I would say they've got more well-defined musculature than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
They look like they may feature prominently in somebody's fantasies. Let me put it that way.
I was gonna say, yeah, I feel like they got these designs right off Tumblr.
They look a little too sexy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
especially
really,
the one
you
the
get
rock
sexy
fights
from it?
I mean, like,
it's not
it has
my
abs.
idea of sexy per se, but I look at them and I'm like, somebody's turned on right now.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
It's like those tigers at the end of Zootopia. I'm like, this is good for somebody.
Yes,
you know?
yes, precisely.
This is screaming out to somebody, and good for them. But yeah, not.
Somebody's just
not
looking at these
cup of tea.
snowmen like, this better not awaken anything in me.
Yeah. Well, and also about the snowmen, they're just these big giant muscle men snowmen, but also they're invincible snowmen because even if you cut them in half or whatever, they can just reform or like kind of shift their body stuff. So like they don't have to be big giant guys. They can just be little guys. And then that's kind of fun.
I do think the cutting, like when Chris Evans shoves one's face onto a grill and is like melting his face off, I'm like, you deserve to be surprised that didn't work, Chris Evans.
Yeah,
when
for sure.
When The Rock cuts one in half and is all triumphant, like, yeah, I did it. It's a fucking snowman, The Rock. Of course cutting him in half doesn't do anything.
Right.
Come on.
I mean, The Rock's, and also The Rock is just head of security for 8 million years or whatever. He doesn't know how these things work.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, they're
he should be surprised so little by everything.
Yeah. And also, he tries to kick him in the dick at one point. So he thinks there's a dick.
Well, there might be.
Did we also describe, sorry, he did the shrink fight, whatever.
I
know we said that.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we properly described that it's maybe the single worst looking thing in the entire movie.
Oh, it's awful. It's terrible. He'll click and then he's like shrink and then it's but it's not Ant-Man Rock. It's like Baby Rock, right? Like
he's like a little boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that scene in Ant-Man where he like gets his thing stuck and I think it's the second one.
Yeah.
And he's like running around in a hoodie.
Yeah. Because at least when Ant-Man goes small, it's like, oh, everything's so big around him. But this is just like a little toddler Rock. But still with like Rock bodybuilder proportions. It's so fucking weird.
See, like that should have been in the fucking one of these at some point. Like they had to break into something. And he's like, don't worry, I'll look like a child. And he turns into little Rock and like walks up full muscular, just like, hey, I'm a child. Let me see Santa Claus, please.
What I thought was going to be revealed, and which I would have thought would have been really funny, is they pretty strongly hint that The Rock is not human.
Right.
And I thought what they were going to do at one point was like, after he does this power at one point, he's like little in front of Chris Evans, and he's like, why are you so little? And he's like, well, this is my real size. Like, I like to look big to impress the humans, but I mean, I'm an elf. This is my actual size.
Oh shit!
That
I didn't even think about that. That's so brilliant. Yeah,
you could even
and
have
that
a
would
bit where
handily
like
explain why he would choose to be the size of a child instead of any other size when he does the shrinking thing.
I would like that if that's like the bit, and then the Chris Evans is like, does he always look like this? It's like, no, I have to change it every couple of years. Santa goes through phases where he gets really into certain things, and he's muscle men now. Like, I don't know if you've seen Santa, but he's not usually muscle men. But we all had to kind of go muscle men for a while.
Well, Santa is about the gains, right? He's all about them.
I would love it if we see that like Santa like pumping eye or whatever, and then at one point Chris Evans asks about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, this is all new. Like 5 years ago, he decided he wanted to get swole. Like normally,
you guys
bowl full of jelly, all that stuff."
Yeah, is Joe Rogan podcast experience a thing outside of Christmas Village? Because we definitely get it, and it's his favorite. Like,
Jamie, can you look that up? Is like, what's the best way? Jamie, look that up, please. Thanks,
There is
Jamie.
a Santa
Are
Claus,
cookies a
it
good
turns
source of
out.
carbs? Can we Google that?
Oh man. But yeah, so they go and fight these guys or whatever, and they kill them by pulling the carrots out, which we learned is their one weakness, which is a bad weakness, but whatever, fine.
We know Frosty the Snowman.
It's a top hat, DJ. Come on.
The top
point.
hat has the
That's
magic
my
in it.
point.
Yeah, I know.
Why the fuck is it a carrot?
Well, and this
what
is
are
the
we
thing.
doing?
This is how you do it in the movie. Have that be the thing, and then that's like, Chris Evans is like, oh, I know this Christmas bullshit. Or have the Rock say it, whatever. And then they go for the top hat and nothing, and then it turns out to be the carrot.
Oh,
it's
it's
like
the
propaganda. They've been spreading lies throughout the Christmas stories to trick us. But yeah, it's the new. I don't want to say it, but it's like, it's weird.
You don't want to say it? Why is it controversial?
No. It's a spoiler for something that
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so they do this. I don't even remember what comes from this. They beat the guys and then figure out that it's her. I guess.
Well,
I guess now they know it's her.
Nick Kroll is frozen.
Oh,
They've learned
yeah.
that it's Grilla, but Nick Kroll is frozen. They're like, that's our only lead. But then Chris Evans is like, normally I would, look at things that might indicate a trail. And apparently they hadn't thought to do that until now.
Yeah.
So they look up the magic trail that they have access to, and he doesn't. And they're like, there were 2 big conjurations near a place in Germany just a few days ago.
Right.
Oh, you don't say.
And they, so then, and also another thing that's been happening a lot in this movie, like I said, Lucy Liu is here for this movie, but she's not doing anything, and she just kind of shows up for all this shit. Yeah. And by this point, I'm convinced she's secretly the bad guy, like, otherwise, why is she here? What's the point of this character?
Nando's right. There's something there.
But yeah, it's not,
Nando's so right.
That's not what it is at all. Now I'm curious, wait a second. Are there any mythological creatures that these guys could have called that would be better at finding Santa? It's like a god of hide and seek or something, like
in any mythology or in Christmas related mythology?
Any mythology, because like these guys find
there's plenty of stuff
horseman
that are like good trackers in different mythologies. I don't know offhand which one to bring up, but there's plenty of stuff like that. Yeah.
What's the saint you're supposed to pray to if you lose something, DJ? Is it Saint Francis?
Saint Anthony?
No, right? Saint Anthony. Yeah. Got to get him,
right?
And he can help.
I know Saint Christopher is when you're lost, I think.
Sure.
Perhaps, yeah. I don't know.
Wow, the one of us here who says they're Catholic doesn't know what saints to pray to for random bullshit.
Yeah. How dare me?
You might as well be Protestant at that point, DJ.
Honestly, I've thought about it. Seems like a really good deal. You don't have to listen to the Pope. It's just kind of, you see your own thing. I can't
believe what I'm hearing.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. The only
Maybe
problem
more Protestant
with it
presidents, man.
That's true.
Yeah, we have 2 Catholic presidents, DJ. It was kind of a big deal.
And one of them got just shot right in the head, so
And the other one was JFK.
Oh, what happened to that guy?
Diggins,
I got bad news about JFK for you.
By the time this comes out, that's a culture.
No, man, I don't want to be on that list. Not with what's coming. I don't want to be on no fucking list.
Listen, DJ, if we're on that list for what's coming, they're going to throw us a parade.
Also, what if Warren Beatty did it? Then it'd be even more called shots of like that Warren Beatty. They were just talking about him. Can't believe my ears.
I want to be very clear to any FBI agents that might be listening. If Joe Biden gets shot between the time we record this and the time this podcast came out, we had nothing to do with it.
All right, timestamp it. It is 11:58 p.m. Eastern on November 18th, 2024.
The best part of this story is when Warren Beatty reads the email again and wait a second. Which one was I supposed to? Oh no! I did it again. Oh, Warren, you son of a gun. Kicking anything right these days. So anyway, Santa Claus or something. They go to Germany where Krampus lives. They have to go to the Krampus castle. Krampus owns,
I think you mean where
Hogwarts.
Santa's brother lives.
Right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Who could it be?
The movie has to be, make sure the audience is 8 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Good golly. Ugh.
I feel like we probably also had a conversation at this point between the main characters of like naughty list, nice list thing. And you know what? We might get it when they're in jail. But the lore thing that we'll talk about is that Santa has the naughty and nice list, but he didn't make them. He made the nice list. And then Krampus, his brother, made the naughty list because he wanted to punish kids. And Santa just kind of went with it, I guess, all these years because it's kind of his brand.
He says that the split came when Santa was like, I don't like all this punching thing. And he took the naughty list away from Krampus. But I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's like the One Ring. It can only be destroyed by throwing it into a volcano on Mars. So that's Santa's like, I can't destroy the list. I must just keep it safe.
Yeah. And this gels with what Krampus's deal usually is because everyone knows what it is because it's 2024. He's punishes kids and stuff. So they go to his castle. He has an evil castle Dracula, whatever. Chris Evans steals some shit and gets him in trouble. Krampus is a big giant guy, like a plastic man. It's kind of cool looking. Played by the guy who wanted to have sex with Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones, but I don't know his name. Something Hivzu, I think. But yeah. So they go to the Krampusville and then get put in Krampus jail. And to get out of jail, or instead of be executed, right, or something.
Well, no, Krampus gets them brought to his like big party. And it is like, you stupid people, I don't like Santa or you. But you, Chris Evans, you can go and tell them do not bother with Krampus stuff. I'm going to keep the rock here forever as punishment.
Yeah. And they're doing something that is like, they do this in real life sometimes, where two guys at a bar slap each other as hard as they can to see who can die.
Yeah, Dana White slap fighting. That's where they got the inspiration
I think
from.
you mean the Krampus Schlop?
The Krampus Schlop, that's
right. Is that
right.
real, by the way, or did they make it up for this movie? I no idea.
I'm guessing that's made up. I'm guessing that and Krampusnacht are made up as well. But
I don't think Krampusnacht is made up.
Oh, really? I thought Krampus also happened at Santa Claus. Like, I thought they were like a package deal. So you wouldn't have Krampusnacht. You would just have Christmas. Right? I don't know. That's the thing with this movie.
No. Krampusnacht is a celebration in Europe, particularly in German-speaking areas. December 5th is Krampusnacht.
Oh, I'm sick.
Set your calendars, fellas. It was almost
You guys
here.
want to celebrate? It's coming up.
Maybe. Yeah. Watch this again, maybe. Go to the theater, see if it's still in any of them. Or watch it at home, probably on Amazon Prime.
Sick if it was at theaters and like you just came in like your full Krampus gear. That'd probably be go Krampusnacht. It's like you just go full in on it.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool.
Would appreciate that. Sorry,
Krampus Schlop is made up, though.
Okay.
It's good to know.
And we'll also learn that Krampus... Okay, this is another thing that happened. What's her name is stealing the Christmas energy, and she's sending it to people as like a weird little trap. And if you're naughty, then it eats you and puts you in a snow globe. She gives it to the first kid in the dictionary who's like an adult man who gets a ticket.
Do you remember the name?
It's like Arthur Adams or Aaron
like
Adams
Aaron
or something.
Abel.
Yeah.
It's very, but you know. You think that was the first one? There wasn't someone like Aaron Aronson. Right? Nah, probably not, right?
I feel like I've seen this joke before with Aaron Aronson, and that is the better joke. But either way.
I also like how her list is a little iPad. It's not like a long list the size of Rhode Island. She's like, give me my iPad. And it, like a bunch of names floating around like it's fucking Harry Potter. So
yeah.
That was cool.
That was great. Technology. It's just like magic. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So that's her plan, is to do this thing. We're gonna learn that she got the weapon to do that from Krampus. And it's like a magic snow globe thingy or something that I don't remember
They give a
Did it
name for
exist?
it. I can't remember what it is.
It's like
And
some
what
bullshit
was-
is the name.
Did Krampus invent it, or was it something Santa originally invented that Krampus took?
I don't think any of them. Glaskafig is the name of it.
There it
I don't think
Mm.
either of them invented it. I think it was just a magic item that existed that Krampus owned, or rather,
Okay.
it actually specifically says Grilla had given it to him
Why?
because they used to like have wild fuck orgies and kill kids.
Yeah.
together.
They pal
I guess
around,
they
yeah.
did. It's weird because she then has to get it. Her getting it from Krampus is like kind of a plot point, right? That happened earlier.
Right.
Before the
Well, the
movie
reason
started.
why the magic thing that they traced that brought them to Krampus is she showed up at Krampus's house and was like, "Hey, I'd like my Glaskafig back." And I guess he was like,
Right.
"Yeah, sure, whatever."
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah, whatever. I'm really busy with whatever my fake holiday is that's apparently real. So slapping all the guys. And I don't know if it was clear. He's jacked too. Everybody in this
Yeah.
movie is jacked. But he's even more jacked than The Rock. So like he could do cool shit. Also, this is where they do Rock'em Sock'em Robots to escape.
Can I say something about this standout?
Yes.
I actually like the Rock'em Sock'em Robots escape scene. I thought that was cool. I just don't know why. And this movie is roughly a 2-hour runtime. We are mired in so much like talky bullshit in this part when it's like we should just be having fun.
That's what I'm
Why
saying
are
about
we
this-
not having fun?
So sad about this movie being so ponderous. Everything takes so
Yeah.
long, and they talk about it for so long.
So annoying.
It is really
Anyway.
annoying. I did want to point out about the escape scene. They have Rock'em Sock'em Robots, right? And this is like, because The Rock has his embiggening reality warping ray or something,
Yeah.
he's able to command them to like help.
Yes. Like cover
Yes.
us or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and they do good punches and stuff and are able to like really clock these guys. Krampus though is still humongous, so he's able to punch one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and he punches its
their
head
heads
off.
clean off.
Clean off. What about the
Yeah.
thing? You know, that should be enough to break it, but instead it just comes off like stupid.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, like it's a Rock'em Sock'em Robot. It's like the one thing we all know about them. The head going off is fine.
They
If
suck
anything,
so much.
he should punch the head off and then think it's dead, and then Chris Evans should go behind and put the head back down, and then it comes back to life or something, because it's a toy.
That'd be
It's
fun.
how it works. Yeah. But this movie's got way too much to do. It's like, I mean, we're getting close to the end, but there's still a good half hour left, because they also have to
Right?
learn that Santa Claus was never not where they thought he was.
Mhm.
Because they find a trap led for them by whatever her name is, Sabrina, the
Grilla.
Teenage Witch, Grilla,
because
and
Chris Evans says Grilla's name again
right,
and
yeah,
said
he loves
she
Can't
that.
can
stop.
hear- This
Can't
is honestly
fucking stop.
this is like a magic folklore thing I kind of love. She can hear whenever her name is spoken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it because now we're talking about her, so she's listening to us.
Yeah. She's like,
And
oh,
we're
We
all
like
naughty,
Grilla.
so we're definitely fucked.
mhm.
I don't know. I think she's my favorite part of the movie. Not even lying. So that's, you could award me with whatever. Is there a good thing she gives out, or is she just like, is her thing just eliminating all the villains?
She
of
literally
history?
just eats children. Like she doesn't
I
have
know.
an other thing.
Well, go to town, Grilla, or whatever.
Also, listen, hey, maybe some of us at this point are like, imprison every naughty person in a snow globe. That doesn't sound like a bad plan to me anymore.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like,
Maybe she's
I
right.
mean,
But it goes way past naughty. She's like anyone who's ever done anything kind of untoward.
well,
yeah,
we
people
need
who
some
take
new
out their
ideas,
phone.
DJ. The old ones aren't working. I'm willing to try it.
no, yeah, I'm with it. People take out their phone in the movie theater. Naughty list, like give them a globe them, I guess is the way people describe it. And then she's also given a globe to the kid to fuck with him.
Mhm.
And then the kid's like, hey, Dad, if he FaceTimes his dad, hey, Dad, I just want to say,
I love
don't
this
come
so
to the
much.
thing. Also, why did you give me a weird globe? And then he goes sucked into the globe. It's pretty convenient that he has FaceTime. But
Also, pretty convenient that Chris Evans has like an international plan that he can get
Yeah.
these phone calls while he's in Germany.
Google Fi, probably.
Also, if
you
it's
know.
7 p.m. in we'll assume somewhere on the East Coast in America.
Oh yeah,
it's like fucking 3 a.m. or something. Well, not that late. It's like 1 a.m. in Germany for them.
I think that's kind of what it looks like. It's like a dark kind of night.
I guess.
Yeah, they're at a bar, like it's like a pub setting. So
I'm just saying, at the point that it's 7 p.m. in America on Christmas Eve, like they're really late on starting the Santa deliveries.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yes, for sure. Although, you would never have this concert on Christmas Eve. Like, people have shit to do on Christmas Eve. People go to church on Christmas Eve.
Well, isn't this Christmas Eve? Right.
Well, but then this same night they free Santa and he immediately leaves to go deliver.
Yeah.
Right. You're right. So it is Christmas Eve. Yeah. Goddamn. No, they would never do this. Also, school's been out for like a week. No, this is like way off. It's way off.
That's true. Yeah. And also, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So Chris Evans has a globe, and he, because his kid was globed, is like, I gotta save my kid because he now understands the meaning of Christmas and to be good. So he on purpose globes himself, and then uses his globing to like get close to the child.
I did like before the kid gets involved, it did seem like the movie was going to do a really dumb thing that I thought was like so funny the way they made it obvious how dumb it was. Because they see like a piano playing in the middle of the road. They stop and they see there's the present for Jack. And he's like, okay, well, we're not going to open that, obviously. We're going to drive around this piano and leave. And the Rock's like, no, we have to open it.
Right.
And I'm like, why? Why do you have to do that?
Says who?
Yeah. Christmas law, man, or something, that would be fine with me. But anyway, so they're separated now. Callum is in like the snow globe. The snow globes are next to each other, and he could kind of talk through them and be like, I love you, son. I'm sorry for being
Aaron Abel, nowhere to be seen. We have to assume he's dead.
What's up?
Aaron Abel, nowhere to be seen. We have to assume he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his globe. Well, his globe was the failed globe. That globe didn't work.
Well, the only thing that failed about the globe is that it didn't come back with them. But one of her sons, the Yule lads, was watching him. So you'd think he would just pick it up and take it with him.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's so dead. But he was a piece of shit. He deserved to die.
Yeah, he got parking tickets.
I'm assuming my headcanon is that Grilla ate him.
Well,
that. He also might have been parking in a handicap spot or something. We don't know.
He could have been. We see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was just a regular parking violation or
he's
handicap
parked
spot.
badly in a handicap spot.
Yeah, so fuck that guy.
Yeah, get him. And if that's what we're doing, if that is like the bar of guy that we're getting rid of, and maybe that's the bottom of it, I think that's pretty good. We're going to lose some people, but who we're definitely going to lose a lot of really, really awful people.
Yeah.
Although that would be really funny if she got to the end and was like, well, not him, huh? No, he never technically broke any of my rules. He never parked in a handicap zone, never drives. So he's fine. Hey, okay with me, Grilla. But whatever. The movie's pretty much over, except for there's like 8 more twists. One of them is that secretly they're like, oh, if she wants to produce all the things, that means she must be in Santa's workshop, which means Santa never left. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. It means the workshop has been compromised. But wait, I was just there. But wait, does that mean everybody we've talked to since the beginning of the movie has secretly been this? I guess. But also,
I don't think it's since the beginning of the movie. I think it is since that scene where he chased after them and then he left to go meet Lucy Liu.
Right. They all
every
snuck
time
in.
Since then they've been Yule lads.
That makes sense.
There's an amazing how this reveal happens is incredible.
Oh my God.
Another instance of you, the audience, must be ahead of the movie. So Rock's like, I'm gonna call Mrs. Claus, and then he like video calls her and she's like, I'm just baking Santa cookies, or like for when he gets back, and then he's like, what are you baking? And she's like, oh, it's some macaroons, and it's like, sounds good. And then he clicks, he's like, Santa fucking hates macaroons.
And now in like a good movie, you would imagine that an earlier scene we had him walk by a plate of cookies and be like, oh, macaroons. Ugh.
Right.
And then instead of The Rock immediately suspecting this, he's like checking in with Mrs. Claus, and she's just like, oh, I'm baking. He's like, oh yeah, what are you making for the big guy? And she says, oh, I just made a big plate of macaroons. And then we zoom in on The Rock's face where he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But
no, that scene comes later when Santa denies the macaroons. That's a later scene.
Just so we've made sure to make this scene in such a way where you, the audience, couldn't possibly know what's wrong.
Yeah. Also, the macaroons are a weird cookie for Santa Claus to eat. Like, that's you were really on the border of what even it is a cookie at this point.
But I got to admit, I'm with him. Not a big coconut person.
Oh, me too. I don't like them either.
I get it, but
I feel like if he said oatmeal raisin, I'd be like, that's personality in terms of just like him not liking something I kind of expect he would like. Macaroons. It's like, I don't know. I don't think your average person likes macaroons.
Leaves that for Santa. Santa gets left
none
here,
of
like
them.
standard
The French
cookie.
people do.
You know,
yeah.
I think the funny thing would be if she was just like, oh, I made a big plate of chocolate chips, and he's like, Santa's fucking sick as hell of chocolate chips. Everyone leaves chocolate chips. He doesn't want Mrs. Claus making him chocolate chips. He gets enough of them.
Yeah, that actually is better.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah, the I do think too. We find out that the Yule kids, like I said in the lore of like the history, if you Google them, you find like little Seven Dwarfs guys. They're all like weird, tattooed like biker fellows, kind of. That's what they're going for.
They're like the Russian mercenaries in a Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah. Which is weird because she's not that. And she can choose her form, hypothetically.
I mean,
she
they
doesn't
can
look
too.
like,
they shapeshift.
Right. So I don't know why they're that. But yeah, we find out that the whole thing has been compromised. They've been in Santa's lab the whole time. Whatever. And then that's the end. It's pretty much over. They break out. Chris Evans breaks out with this kid by loving him too much, or I guess enough. And then
this isn't made clear. It's like they're put on the nice list. Is that like? But how is the kid naughty? I couldn't figure this out. Like why?
I don't know why the kid breaks out. I mean, the kid. I mean, at the beginning of the movie, talked about some bunch of messed up stuff he did. It makes sense he's on the naughty list. But yeah, Chris Evans being like, "I've been a shitty dad and I want to be better," and like, okay, I like the basic idea of like, hey, he's resolving to become better, and that does allow him to break out of the naughty prison.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also think like, I feel like you got to do a little bit more than that to be on the nice list after everything you've done, Chris Evans.
It's also not a revelation that matters in any way. Like you think that there'd be a bad thing that happened. It's like, all right, we got to like figure this out. But nah, there's like a big fight at the end. Krampus comes back and then just Grilla gets sucked into all of them.
Oh my God. The whole ending sequence, nothing in it matters at all.
And it all looks so not good. And like, I don't blame the animators. Again, I'm sure none of them had the amount of time you would want, and I'm sure their budgets were slashed for reasons. But
for non-piss related reasons, according to the PR person.
Yeah, the snow globes look awful. Like just so bland, terrible. And like it's just blue and green lighting and stuff. And I was going to say about the snow globes, you're right, because you figured there would be a point in this movie where all of the other Christmas characters would be snow globed or whatever. Yeah. And then Chris Evans would be like, guys, you have to apologize to your sons and whatever. And that's how they all break out of them. But yeah, they're the only two. And yeah, whatever Aaron Aronson or that guy, he is dead because he didn't have anybody to apologize to. So he wouldn't have gotten out anyway. But yeah, we get a big fight that is super creative. Everybody punches everybody else. Lou has batons, like stun batons, like Black Widow. I don't know where she got. Not like I don't know where she got them, but who gives a shit? But
no, yeah, it's so stupid.
Like nobody's using any of these toys. Nobody's using a slinky to cut everybody's head off or something.
A slinky. That's one of the things The Rock takes and never uses.
Yeah, and it ends. The final triumphant thing is J.K. Simmons saying some fucking nonsense to some of the reindeer. I don't even remember what it was. It was like Harumba.
Yeah,
it
what the fuck
like
was
English.
That?
It was something else. He says it at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
and that's what makes the reindeer go. But yeah, it's not an English word. I don't know what it was.
Like,
I guess it doesn't have to be English, but we have American Santa who's been speaking English the whole movie, so you kind of figure he would say on Dasher or whatever the fucking thing says in the rhyme is.
I do love that both this and Christmas Chronicles, we have a good, nice American white Santa who is explicitly identified as Saint Nicholas of Myra, a man from Turkey.
Mm-hmm. What are you supposed to get? James Earl Jones? He died recently, so he couldn't do it. He's Turkish, as we all know. Yeah. Bill Bellamy was busy with something else. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the what else was I gonna say about this? The final fight sucks. Yeah. What's the most dangerous toy? What toy would you want to have for a big final fight?
Silly Putty.
Battleship.
Battleship's pretty good. Silly Putty's not bad.
You can do a lot
trying
of
to think,
Silly
like,
Putty if it was big.
What's a toy, like lawn darts or something you could use and just
The most
lure
dangerous
people
game.
with?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, you
Right?
don't even
Like-
need to use the reality adjuster. You can just use the lawn
Yeah,
darts.
that would be really funny. Yeah, like Furby, Tickle Me Elmo. I don't know. This is where you get brand deals too. This is where the movie starts getting cheaper for you to make, is when you start throwing the brand deals in, which I'm not always a huge fan of. But like, if it's that or the movie looks like this, do what you gotta do. You know.
So the the end of this movie,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I have like one note on the end of this movie. Some real silly nonsense.
Are we on like the Rainbow Bridge? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. Yeah. Basically. Right.
Yeah.
No,
You could go, because that's basically it. They
But we should say
she's
sorry, you go.
she's gonna do her thing with all the things, all the little globes, and
She's
on the
gonna
Rainbow
do
Bridge.
the Santa delivery, but instead of giving everyone presents, she's giving all the naughty kids and naughty adults, naughty everybody, the globes.
Yeah. And Santa is powering the thing because it only works when Santa's in it. So he's in like that. He's sitting around in that little globe he's been in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Collecting a nice big paycheck.
Yeah. Big old paycheck. Big.
Such a big paycheck. And then, there's a big stupid fight. I can't remember what happens, but it ends with
Doesn't matter.
The reindeer showing up.
The only thing anyone does that matters is Chris Evans ends up on like the reindeer, like, what do you call it? The thing that connects the reindeer to the sleigh.
Harnesses. Yeah.
Harness. Yeah.
And he like kicks it off so the reindeer get detached from the sleigh. And that's why Grilla isn't able to fly off and do the deliveries.
Right.
Oh,
Everything else from that point forward doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
That's so funny because they're going to do a fake out death with Grilla here, and then she comes back as a big monster. But when it is the fake out death, I'm like, that's about what I expected for this guy. Like, this character, just fucking car accident. She falls off the bridge to her death. Like, I get it. We ran out of money, but they didn't run out of money.
And then Krampus shows up and he's like, I'm here to save everybody. And then he gets his ass beat.
Yeah.
And it's like,
by the way, she's my ex. We love to fucks.
Well, we already knew that. we did know that they did it daily, nightly, and ever so rightly.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just weird. I like that they made her a big weirdo. Like that she's not.
They had
she's still
hinted
like
before that was her true form, that she was a giant ogress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what all these things look like, when you look at like the old Baba Yaga and shit. It's just a big fucking evil thing.
Yeah.
And they trap her in a snow globe. They globe her to death again.
Yep.
The end. But is there anything else I can't remember?
So they're on the sleigh because Santa gets to go do his deliveries, and Callum's like, "Oh, hey, Jack and Boy want to come with us." And then Callum, for whatever reason, sees Jack as young Boy again.
At the beginning of the movie, DJ, when he was talking with Santa about why he's leaving, Santa's like, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to see the little kid in the adults still who needs us to believe in them, or whatever the fuck he says.
That's the fucking magic or whatever. But so the
honestly, it's not a bad message. I just think it's again not executed well.
No.
Yeah.
But so Santa's like doing his thing, and then the kid says a line to Jack, which I had to write down because it was so insane. Do either of you remember this? He goes, "He's a lot cooler than I thought." Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
More jacked. Yeah,
way more jacked.
But like, it's like you either thought Santa didn't exist, or you thought he did exist, but was like a fucking nerd. Like, what do you mean he's a lot cooler than you thought?
Also,
he delivers toys to everyone.
Well, DJ, you gotta understand, he's not your pussy ass fat jolly Saint Nick. This Santa's fucking swole. This Santa prays at the Iron Church.
Yeah.
He does fucking backflips and shit. He's a much cooler Santa than your bitch ass Santa.
It's so fucking stupid.
I do think like there's a small part of me that likes the scene where Santa's doing his shit just because it's something. Like, but also I hate it because of how much it is. Like, I don't know what I hate about it though. What's bad about this scene where Santa's
when he's doing
actually
Christmas?
delivering all the presents? Yeah.
Well, it looks bad for one. The shrinking and getting big and rolling the presents everywhere like looks bad. That's one. That's Exhibit A.
Yeah. Do you think it's because we were raised on the Santa Claus movies? And they did a much simpler version of this that was kind of fun. Like,
I don't think it can be that, Nando, because I also didn't like this, and I've never seen a single Santa Claus.
Oh, never?
Never.
Yeah, you know what? I think I didn't like it because with the Santa Claus, it is like an organization, but hey, it's run by children. They're all like, all the elves are like, I think they're supposed to be old, but they are played by children. And there is no Mrs. Claus until like the third one, I think. So everybody at HQ is a child versus this one where everybody at HQ and most of the other characters involved are like adults, which makes it look like he's doing a raid on Bin Laden. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's fun, you know? Like, I want Jessica Chastain with a thing. Like, and that's, yeah. They make it so military and like FedEx. It really is like Amazon, delivery men. It's just no fun.
Yeah. Well, Nando, in like 50 years, maybe, instead of Santa Claus delivering all our presents, it will be old Saint Bezos. Shows up to every child's house every night to deliver all of their presents.
Yeah. That's fair. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of the end of this? Anything interesting here for you guys?
I was happy it was over.
Shocked there wasn't a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Honestly. What would it have been if you got to choose?
Well, like who's another like big bad, or it's like something like, we got a call from the east. Shit's going down.
Yeah,
Avengers assemble.
Kang,
Rise of the Guardian.
Yeah.
If we're insisting on the Icelandic mythology, then I think we've got to venture into the layer of the Yule Cat and have him.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh yeah. Wait, the Yule Cat.
Well,
the Yule Cat was in the other one of these.
I pay a visit to old Saint Nick.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I like that.
I like it too.
I do feel like part of it has to be. Also, wait a second. Wait, no, he wouldn't have been there. They should have freed the Pumpkin Man during the assault on the base, but I guess he was in a different thing.
Nah, you're probably right.
He was in Mora. He wasn't in the North Pole.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the post-credit scene would be him rotting in a cell or something, or like him like, hello, is anyone gonna come get me?
Oh, yeah.
But, it would be is his body is like stumbling around while his pumpkin head is like, no, over here, to your left.
Mm-hmm.
No, your left.
That would be what it is.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I guess the big bad of this would have to be like, I feel like if you actually made this in a good world, it would be some corporate something or something, like that's like, but it can't be that because this movie is made by Amazon. So like, they're the bad guys.
Right. Any decent Christmas movie should be Amazon, but it can't be when Amazon made the movie.
Especially because like Santa even uses fucking drones to do Santa stuff. At one point, The Rock jumps on one like a Super Mario level. So like, he's pretty much just doing Amazon. You know what? That's what it is. It's all the Amazon of it. So much of that, like, what's the word? Logistics, like DNA of look at all the scheduling we did for Santa Claus.
That's even part of Elf. That's 1/3 of their duties.
Yeah.
So maybe that is it. Maybe I just hated it because, or maybe that's why the acronym is so stupid, is because that's the only thing it can be, because that's what it is. And I hate it. Any other thoughts about this?
It was bad. Wait till it's on VOD to see it.
Wait till it's on like not even VOD, like on a streaming channel you're already paying for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, like, yeah.
And I mean, it's an Amazon movie, so it probably will be there before Christmas.
Yeah, almost certainly. We did not sort of skip over, or at least I didn't bring up in the appropriate time, one joke that honestly got me pretty good.
Oh,
Which one is that?
Which was after, like, at the end of Aruba, when Chris Evans is explaining like how he would do things. He's like, normally, I'd trace credit cards, I'd bank statements, etc., things like that. But so you got anything like that I don't know about because I'm a human? I don't know any. I've never run into any like witches or anything before, except I have dated a few. Am I right? Am I right, Callum? And Callum just looks at him like, yes, I've dated witches. What's your point? It's like, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Wait a second. Now I'm thinking about it. The Grylar runs on Beetlejuice Rules, right? Could you hypothetically just be like, go on Instagram Live, like fucking, what's her name? The pop star from the Trap movie, and just be like, all you kids, just say the word Grylar a million times and her head would explode, because she just hears everybody saying her name all at once.
It's not a bad idea.
It's my Beetlejuice solution, but with Grylar instead.
I do like that her name has evolved to Grylar now. Interesting.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I don't even kind of remember what it is.
Nah, you're good.
Grilla. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so there's absolutely no way they'll make another one of these. But if they did, what would it be?
It bombed so bad.
It bombed so bad.
Rise of the Guardians. Mora's got to get all of them together. It's like there's a big threat, and I don't know what the big threat is. It's like, I don't know.
Mr. What was it? The Nightmare Man and the Rise of the Guardians. So just do that, I guess.
The Bye Bye Man.
The Bye Bye Man. Yeah.
The Sandman, maybe. Maybe Sandman is there.
Sandman's a good guy in those, but yeah.
I don't think we're getting more Sandman now, boys.
Oh, that's true.
Hey, man, you never know.
He was pretty involved, besides being the creator.
Oh, no, I mean, like, things are going to get pretty acceptable over the next few years, is what I'm saying.
Well, true. Yeah, good point.
I spent a good couple minutes going, what did Thomas Hayden Church do? Who did he assassinate recently? I forgot about. And then I remembered. And then I was like, wait, but yeah. And we are getting more Sandman on Netflix. They're like releasing it soon too. I feel like we're not going to hear much about that.
I think they had mostly made it already when this all happened.
That's so crazy. Yeah. I do think one thing that's interesting about this is the Jack Pumpkin Man or whatever. What is that guy called? The Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
Feels like it's like slightly outside of the rest of these guys. Like that is American, like mythological figures. Whereas all the rest of these guys are like this stupid council of, Easter Bunny and stuff. So like maybe we could go kill like, Babe and the Big Blue Ox or whatever. Like that could be something.
Paul Bunyan and Babe.
Paul Bunyan. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Johnny Appleseed are hanging out somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Should I save Christmas for America? Also, no Jesus in this.
Well, you can never have Jesus with the Santa Christmas stuff. They bump is the problem.
It does always feel weird to me when we have these like all Christmas Santa focused Christmas movies, and at no point does anyone talk about like what Christmas actually is.
Well, that's why it's interesting that they did that in the Christmas Chronicles, where they very, very briefly went to a church and looked at it and heard like Christmas songs and went, oh yeah, right. There's that whole thing. But
I feel like you have to acknowledge that part of it when he's explicitly Saint Nicholas.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
A Catholic saint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, other question. Wait, I forgot. Something about this movie. Oh, how does this rank among your like these that they've made recently? Like all these action Santa things.
Way at the bottom.
Oh, action Santa things?
I didn't see Fat Man, but like this is like way at the bottom.
One spot above Fat Man.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Which is the best one?
I definitely liked it less than Violent Night, which I saw.
Yeah. Violent Night's pretty good.
Both Christmas Chronicles are better than this. Way better.
I think the
Yeah, I
Christmas
think so.
Chronicles, while not great, do have a little more whimsy to them that I enjoyed. And also, I think Kurt Russell is just
It's
more
great. Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there's each one, definitely the first one has at least one line that's pretty good where he says like a Christmas line, but like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando, you know, like you better watch out or something as like a
it's time
thing
to string
explodes.
these lights.
Yeah. I can't remember what all of them are, but like that's more fun than anything that happens in this movie.
Package delivered.
Yeah.
No, that's the Amazon Santa, DJ.
Oh,
yeah.
Drone detected.
Saint Bezos.
Now, do you think that's why I got J.K. Simmons? Is because he's also bald and jacked, Jeff Bezos? If you pitch Jeff Bezos a movie, the hero of it has to be bald and jacked. Maybe.
That could be it. You might
I'd
be
buy
onto
that
something.
logic. Yeah, I'd buy that
I think that's part of it.
Well, I think the big problem with that is that J.K. Simmons, as far as I know, is not divorced.
Ooh,
I mean,
okay.
It's always time. You know, I don't know. I don't know very much about him besides he's in every movie these days.
He has an Oscar.
He does have an Oscar. And he's the Eminem, or used to be. I don't know if he still is.
I don't think he does it anymore, but he did used to.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
They fired the Spokes Candies last year. Remember that? That's funny.
Get him out of those fucking heels.
They gotta. That was part
the
one.
Beloved Spokes Candies?
The beloved Spokes Candies. That's the first domino that fell. And where did it end? You know, a week and a half ago. Look at what happened. So you could trace it all back to the Spokes Candies. Oh, man. You guys want to get to our classic segment?
Would love to.
I would love that.
All right. Let's recommend some things to the fine people. DJ, what do you have to recommend?
Not much. I got one thing that I'll throw out there that I've actually been enjoying genuinely. So I know I've recommended this before, but I think we got a bit of a turnaround. So I love my baking shows, as I mentioned. Holiday Baking Championship, the much maligned Holiday Baking Championship on the Food Network.
Why is it maligned?
I haven't liked it the past few seasons because I have a few problems with it. There's a lot of asymmetry in the bakes where it's like grab a bingo ball and it'll have your combo on it, and like someone might get like a great combo like cranberry sauce and mint or whatever, and then someone gets orange and broccoli. Oh no. And like I don't like that. I don't like that. So but they've gotten rid of like most of that. And they also did this dumb thing where there was like a pre-bake and then a main bake, and in the pre-bake, if you won that, you got like an advantage, so even more asymmetry. But now you just get like a cash prize. So they've like leveled that out a bit, and I think like the judging's been like a little bit better, which I know was like a weird, like very niche thing to complain about. But like I just think that it's so good on Bake Off, and like I think maybe they've been taking notes on holiday baking. I think Jesse Palmer's great; he hosts it. But it just has like been a better watch. It's like 3 episodes in, and they chart like they go from now all the way to like Christmas, and so it's like now we're in the fall one, and like this week will be the Thanksgiving episode, and then as it ramps into Christmas, it's more Christmassy, which I like. And I do like baking around this time of year, as cheesy as it is. But it is something that I enjoy.
I mean, you can make lots of things. You can bake lots of stuff without cheese.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that was another one. They had like a cheese challenge, and like some people had mascarpone and other people had like fucking brie or like blue cheese. It's like, how the fuck is this fair?
Baked brie is a thing.
Okay, but like it's like incorporated in the bake, it was like difficult, and especially when some people have like mascarpone, which is like a very like very commonly used in bake, and like it tastes like nothing. So, anyway, that's like, but like it's been better since on Food Network, and then I watched that. And then Michelle and I watched the Christmas Cookie Challenge, which directly follows it, which is a much inferior show. But Michelle like really likes cookies, so it's like fun for her to watch more. I don't know, she likes watching that. So no. That's it. I'll have better stuff next week. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll all be shit, and I'll just have bad Rex forever or something like that. So
maybe.
Anyway,
Diggins?
My name.
Yeah,
What about
Diggins.
you?
What about you?
They call me Rex Forever Diggins. That's right. Here's my bad rec for this week, which is I went to see a movie at the IFC Center here in New York, but fortunately it is on VOD now, if any of you want to watch it. is the latest Guy Madden movie. He's an independent Canadian filmmaker. He tends to make pretty low budget stuff, although this one is not, it's not high budget, but I wouldn't call it low budget either because Kate Blanchett is in it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Is a movie called Rumors.
Yeah, is this any good?
I thought it was really funny.
Nice. I was looking forward to this. Yeah. It's fun.
So the premise is it's a meeting, it's a G7 summit. So, you know, the G7 is a group of liberal democracies. I think it's America, Canada, the UK, France, Italy, Germany, and Japan. Like the heads of state of all those 7 countries meet to discuss world issues and like put out statements and stuff. And rarely does anything important or productive come out of it, which is sort of part of the point of the movie. The premise is, it's like the start of the latest G7 summit. All these heads of state are getting together, but then like as they're working or like, you know, having their meeting, suddenly like everyone just sort of like all the like employees and such around them just kind of like disappear. Not like immediate, like they're by themselves at like a gazebo, and then they like ring for someone to like bring some wine or something, and no one comes, and they realize like everyone's gone,
right?
And they're just like alone on this estate, and weird stuff starts happening, and they don't know what's going on, and it's all their phones stop working. It seems like something bad has happened, but they don't have any information about it. They don't know what's happening, and they have to like just try to figure out like where they're going to go, what they're going to do, and like how to figure out what's going on. And the whole thing is just this really, really vicious satire about how like vapid these things are and how they don't mean or accomplish anything, because the whole thing is just them like applying the same sort of logic. Like they're there to like put out a statement about the present crisis, which is as specific as they ever get about it. And that's not the thing that's happening. Like they're, before the thing starts happening, they're like, we've got to put together a preliminary statement or a provisional statement about the present crisis, so people know that we're doing something. And like they never stop, like all while this is happening, while they're trying to figure out what to do, they never quite stop talking about and trying to work on that. And it's just like between that and this, it becomes very clear that like they're so convinced of their own importance and usefulness that they can't recognize how completely useless and stupid everything they're doing and saying is. And that's the whole joke of the movie, beginning to end, which can be a little one note, but they find so many different ways to make jokes out of that one premise. It gets impressive at a certain point. It's like, I can't believe you're continuing to find new ways to make this same joke funny.
I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be fun.
So yeah, it's mostly like people wandering in woods and talking to each other. I think visually it is very interesting. Like Guy Madden has a lot of influence from like the silent film era and like Germanic expressionism and all of that. So he does make it visually interesting, but like there's not a lot that like happens. But I think again, just like the jokes are so sharp that I still had a really good time with it. So yeah, that's Rumors. Again, if you're in New York, I don't know if it's still playing at the IFC after this past week.
Well, probably Red Notice took its spot.
Red Notice,
or Red One, excuse me.
IFC
well, Red,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But if it is there, you can maybe check it there. If not, it's available for rent on like all the usual platforms. I think it's only like $10.
Nice.
And I think it's worth watching. What about you, Nando? What do you have to recommend?
So one thing that I had forgotten and now I get to recommend, which is good. DJ reminded me of it when he was talking about his cooking shows. I finally watched the new Dropout show, Gastronauts, which is their cooking show. And
yes.
I don't really like cooking shows, so I wasn't expecting to enjoy it, but it's pretty funny and I like it. I like the episode. I only watched the first one, so maybe they get better or not better, different. I enjoy that they kind of Just it's like everybody does okay. Like I don't like cooking shows that are where like I guess I like them for the drama when it's like, oh my god, is the ice cream going to be done? But that wouldn't be fun for me in this setting. So but like watching them do creative things and cook weird stuff, it's pretty fun. And yeah, it didn't hurt that Brennan and Izzy were on the first episode, so that made it also pretty funny.
I have watched I think all the available episodes, and yeah, a thing I do appreciate about it, and the thing that usually turns me off of most competition shows, is they seem to do very little like manufactured like what's the word for it? Not
like drama, conflict
or like tension.
Yeah,
it's like on challenges where basically everyone kind of is doing okay and nothing goes wrong, like they just have the comedians make a lot of jokes. And then if something actually goes wrong, they do like, bring it up and like show it and everything. But like, it feels more real because they're not doing it all the time.
Yeah. And it's not quite a take on them on like shows like that as like, it's not a parody of them, but they do have fun with like, hey, get that camera angle. That's a fun, sexy camera angle to get that guy on. Like, and that like, so that keeps it moving when they're just cooking stuff and it's not really that exciting yet. So yeah, I think I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep watching them. Other thing I watched on the internet this week is a show called Get Kracken. So these are two really funny. I'm gonna say Australian. I might be wrong about that. Comedians. They go by the Kates, and they used to have a thing, and they still do, I guess, online called The Catering Show, which was a fake cooking show they made, which is very funny. And then they had made this in Australia or something. Get Kracken, which was their fake morning show, and it's super well put together and like there's money behind it. But there were 8 episodes of it, and they just put all the episodes on their YouTube channel earlier this week, so you could watch all of them, and it's just really funny. The best one's definitely episode 6, because it's a specific kind of thing that they're parodying, but it's just really they're just really terrible people. Like that's the thing is like. And they hate each other and they hate themselves. So it's fun to watch them kind of have to do a morning show that's all cheery and is also just like every segment is its own little sketch where that segment is a disaster for some reason. So I love it. And I just think the Kates are stupid funny. Like, I don't know what they're up to, but I'd watch anything like this with them. Yeah, so that is all on YouTube. If you look up the Kates, if you look Kracken with a K, Get Kracken with an exclamation point. So just look up the catering show and then figure it out. But good stuff. Other things. So these two are connected together. Saturday Night Live this week was pretty funny, except I thought Charlie XCX did a good job, way better than Bill Burr last week, who stunk. But it reminded me to watch the Saturday Night Live movie Saturday Night, which is on VOD now, and I watched it and I kind of liked it. It was okay. It's not great at like being like an amazing piece of like cinema in terms of like telling a true story, obviously, but also just like, I don't know, it's very schmaltzy, and you can tell it's written by people that like, want it to be the greatest expression of art. Like Saturday Night Live is the purest form of art in history. So it gets a little much, but I think overall it's pretty entertaining, and the people doing impressions of famous people are pretty good. I like the guy who did Little Fablemans is the main man, the Lorne Michaels, so he's pretty good. And all the people doing like Chevy Chase and people who I recognize, Gilda Radner. So yeah, that is what that guy's like. And it's got a sweet little ending. Like it's because spoiler alert, they do eventually make an episode of Saturday Night Live. So
thank goodness.
It's not a huge bummer. And it's about, what Saturday Night Live is. And honestly, seeing the movie made me go like, oh, I guess this is what Saturday Night Live is supposed to be like. That's interesting. It also features a small cameo by J.K. Simmons in a role that he was definitely on set for 2 days for. Yeah, he's knocking these out, man. And he's standing for this whole
he can't
one.
Stop. Yeah.
Yeah, but he could easily be sitting. And he's good in it. So, I like him, but yeah.
So, Nando, you got to the end of that and you were like, yeah, fuck that stupid nerd Jim Henson. He's not a cool guy like Lorne Michaels.
No, Jim Henson, I feel like I was surprised at that. Jim Henson, they like the cast makes a lot of fun of it. Like the bit with him is kind of like everybody at Saturday Night Live like the crew thinks Jim Henson is stupid, but Lauren like kind of likes him, and then by the end they've like figured out how to. I mean, like he's not a staple of Saturday Night Live, so it's weird that he's even there. But the same way that like people are there.
Part. Like he had a segment in like a lot of the early episodes.
Oh, okay. That makes more
very
sense.
Good, but they existed.
I guess like there's stuff that I recognize as like, right, Andy Kaufman, historical SNL moment, or one character says offhandedly like Candygram or something as like a thing that they're doing outside of the Saturday Night Live taping, and you're like, oh, right, because that's something they do on Saturday Night Live. But for Jim Henson, like I would never associate him with that over other things. So, but I think it's fine. And Willem Dafoe is in this too. Willem Dafoe's been doing a lot this last year or two. He's a bad guy. He's kind of good. So I wouldn't say it's great, but it's nice. And it's kind of interesting because it's got that kind of high energy that you would expect from like, not Whiplash. Well, kind of Whiplash. What's the other one? Birdman. It's going for that same kind of backstage. Everybody's always moving thing. It's definitely not pretending to be one takes. There's plenty of editing, but it goes for like spats of that. So yeah, I liked it. I don't think it's going to like win all the awards. I am hesitant. Like, I don't think picking it in the thing was a mistake, but I think it could win some, acting awards if it wanted, but I think it's mostly just like an enjoyable little time. And someone pointed out the guy who plays John Belushi is Matt something. I don't know his name. He is small and really like he's John Belushi. So he's like furious the whole movie and like doesn't want to do anything. And someone pointed out he'd be a great Wolverine. And I actually do. He's my new favorite Wolverine. He hasn't done too much stuff and he's not like super jacked, but I'm fine with that because he's tiny. So yeah, if anybody just wants to see a nice little Wolverine, maybe him. But it's Hugh Jackman for the rest of his life. So never mind. What are we doing next week, you guys?
Is it time to defy gravity?
Yeah, right. That's next week.
Or go swimming with Lin-Manuel again.
Well, that's
oh man, that's the week after. Yeah.
Oh no, or Gladiator, or that's
Gladiator's the other one. Yeah,
it's Gladiator 2 or Wicked.
Well, listen, I'll watch Gladiator 2 as long as there's some gay kissing in it. If there's not, I'm out, frankly. And
Nando,
oh
no,
what happened? No, what?
Yeah,
not Denzel,
apparently.
Not my main man.
No, Denzel said that originally there were 2 gay kisses in the movie, but they took one out, so now there's only one.
Oh, but there's still at least one? All right.
Hold on. No, sorry. I'm seeing a second news story here.
No.
Uh-oh. Last minute, they cut out the second gay kiss too.
God damn it. They're just fools. This is the second gay kiss of the year that's been cut out of a movie. Because also Joker, they filmed a scene where Harley Quinn kissed a woman in the crowd, and then they didn't put it in the movie. So it's not a very good sign if your movie's kind of like Joker 2. But yeah, probably Wicked. Which I think is going to be like a humongous hit. I have feeling so good about having that in my little bracket thingy.
I mean,
and
I feel like Wicked's going to be a better pod. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, I think so too. I will.
So
maybe we'll do Gladiator later.
Watch less.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's my dilemma.
But no, yeah, we'll do Wicked. I think it's like it's gonna be a big pop cultural moment. It's currently, have you guys seen its Rotten Tomatoes score?
No.
Looks like it's rocking a solid 99%. So that's usually a pretty good sign.
Oh wow.
I can't tell if that's like audience score. It hasn't loaded up. Also, the audience score for Red 1 suspiciously high. If anybody has seen them,
crazy. This completely fake. The Rotten
even though I don't buy
cannot
it.
Be trusted.
I don't buy it. I don't know. This one seems like the least plausible ever.
It's a crazy split.
It does look like the only score we have for Wicked is an audience score. So again,
oh, is it? Okay.
Fake, can't be trusted.
No. It's good. This is the best one. DJ, do you have anything to plug?
Roses and Rejections. We're actually going to be doing an episode of the Great British Bake Off with Bill Bodkin. That'll be coming out next week.
The Great British Bake Off.
The Great British Bake Off. And then we're going to be covering some Ultimatum because that drops early December. Very exciting. Very exciting. Routinely our highest rated shows because our audience is a bunch of sickos.
Yeah.
They love the sociopaths.
Oh, also we are on Blue Skies now. It's Roses - Rejections on Blue Sky.
Okay.
So find us there. Give us some follows.
Diggins, what about you?
Nope. What about?
I put out some videos. The Snap videos are going to be fun in the next couple of months because we got some weird characters. Galacta is coming up. Luna Snow is coming up. And then the Dark Avengers, who are all insane. My other videos on my normal YouTube channel will be up soon, but I don't know when, so I'm not going to promise anything, but probably before the next podcast. But yeah, that's all I got until next week. I've been at Nando Movies on Twitter. Oh, no. On Blue Sky.
No.
Yeah.
I'm at Zippy by Day on Blue Sky.
I'm at C Diggins on Blue Sky.
It's the latest to it.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye. We love you.